Hey, YouTube. Sorry I'm late. Let's do this.
Back to nature, climbing higher. Woods are thick, hiking alone. Hear a tree crack, loud as gunfire. Stops you cold, chill to the bone. Hear the crowding, turn to howling. Something's prowling just out of sight. Beast in the night. Beast in the night. The forest has fallen silent. The mountain's dark. The moon is full. Catch the black shape of a giant, 8 feet tall, unbelievable. Your heart is pounding, huge steps are bounding. Your hope is drowning in the fading light. Beast in the night. Beast in the night. Oh, hell yeah. Run for your life. Step it up. Your fear is growing. Red eyes are glowing. You might die knowing those folks were right. Beast in the night. Beast in the night. Beast in the
The 0-2. Left side, Swanson to first. The Browns are world champions. At 10:23 Central Time, Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021.
The Atlanta Braves have officially overcome all obstacles that were put in front of them.
And they are world champions, winning it in 6 and delivering Atlanta their second championship. Pretty incredible. Every one of those players seems like they contributed. It's really a total team effort. With the heart and soul.
Got to stop the video, dude. Bam. And hey, everybody. Welcome to Squatch Talk. I'm Pat. And here we are. Back at the couch. Right where we left off. And I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there for anybody that watched on Tuesday night. And why I did an early show is because I wanted to watch my favorite baseball team, the Atlanta Braves, because I do live in Georgia. I'm from Georgia. Win the World Series, and that happened that night. It was a lot of fun. So I decided, hey man, that was fun. That was a fun night, fun show. I'm gonna come back down here with the doggies and talk to you guys here. So yeah, there you go, man. Just decided to kick off the show that way. Again, if you didn't see Tuesday night show, then you kind of don't get it. But if you were here or you've seen it, then you do. So that's it. It was fun. We had a parade today. I live 50 miles away from Atlanta, but there was a parade in Atlanta today, man. 1 million people showed up. It's crazy. 1 million freaking people. But when do 1 million people show up to anything, man? That's like historic kind of things, right? Like political movements and things like that. Like big, huge changes. 1 million people showed up because the Braves won the World Series. Tell me Atlanta's not a sports town. Hell yeah, it is. Anyway, I'm not here to talk sports, man. That's why I just threw that out there. And I'm going to throw some more stuff out there, but it's all Squatch related, nature related. So what's up, guys? How's everybody doing tonight? Leon's here. What's up? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to it's a casual stream. It's another casual stream. This is the casual week. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. But that's why I titled it Chill Stream. So but I mean, it doesn't have to be that way, but I'm going to start it out that way. We'll see where everything goes. So if you know me and you want to be a part of the conversation at some point, hit me up. I'll let you in. I don't care who you are. If you know me, you can get in. That's still the open mic policy right now. Right? Did we change? We didn't change the policy, right? Like you posted it correctly. Like the wording, you put if you know me. Okay. All right. So yeah, Tim says that he did. He posted that. Did you have fun at the parade? I didn't get to go. Just saying. Oh, and tell Von Hessler he's not competition. So, Brent, what's up, dude? I might start talking about you. Not right now. But I saw your last video, Brent, and I mean, like, talk about home runs, man. You've really refined yourself too. I've noticed. Anyway, so glad you're here, Brent. As always, what's up? What's up, Connor? Connor's here. Jeff. B, not Bay. You'll always be Bay to me. And Orhe. Jorge's here. What's up, dude? We say, is Bigfoot a Braves fan? No, Jorge, you don't understand how it works. They don't wander around the cities to be able to see the ball games. Come on, Jorge, you should know this, dude. You should know that. And Nikki, of course. Hey, Nikki, what's up? Nikki. My friend Nikki. And No Such Thing Podcast is here. What's up, buddy? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, man. Yeah, Connor or Anon. I think I just like calling you Anon. Like I like calling B Bay. I'll call you whatever I want. It was fun. It was a nice little uplifting bump to my week. Much needed. But hey, I want to play you guys something else. Since Leon's here. Leon, are you still here? Tim, give me Leon on the phone. Like right now. On the phone. Has anybody seen Vaughn? He's kind of like gone missing. He's doing like I don't know what he's doing. He's out in the woods. He's got mud all over his face. Like he might be getting real aggro on these things out there. Like, just let me know if you see Vaughn. Anyway, let's watch this because I wanted to play this for you guys and talk about it a little bit. Wrong. That's wrong. Sorry. It's just, it's not there. It's just not there. It's not where I want it to be. There. Sally, you okay?
One of the great challenges in this world is knowing enough about a subject to think you're right, but not enough about the subject to know you're wrong. The goal here is to train your mind how to see the world differently, how to question what others say. I've come to realize that there are three categories of truth. Personal truth, political truths, and the objective truths that shape our understanding of the universe. The interesting thing about an objective truth is that it's true no matter what. Imagine that. By the time we're done, you will be equipped with some of the methods and tools so you can turn data into information into knowledge, knowledge into wisdom. We all have susceptibility to bias. Search engines on the internet are the epitome of confirmation bias. And you're going to use that as evidence that you are correct? No. The good thing about science is that it's true whether or not you believe in it. What does it mean to be skeptical? What does it mean to be convinced by data? A proper skeptic questions what they're unsure of, but recognizes when valid evidence is presented to change their mind. To not only find objective truths, but then communicate to others how to get there. It's not good enough to be right. You also have to be effective. The less connected you are to what is objectively true, the less likely you will be able to make decisions that will benefit your life, the life of your family, and even civilization itself.
Right. So that is a new channel, brand new, and I believe it's Leon's channel. Bigfoot Okanagan, Leon. You know, Leon. I think he started a new channel on YouTube called Truth versus Truth. Oh yeah, it says new channel, dumbass. And yeah, so that's I guess it's going to be a place for good discourse. I don't know, like I don't know the exact sort of vision of the channel. I just know roughly. So everybody check that out. Truth versus Truth, new channel. And I think it's going to be mostly Leon and Steve, CC, Curious Cryptid Steve. So check that out. They've got 20 subs, and this one of my alternate channels has subbed, and Squatch Talk will sub too, of course. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that, and get out of here. Get it out of here. So yeah, man, good stuff. What's up, WTF, Mike? How you doing, buddy? So yeah, tonight is an open mic night, and I probably need to do this as I say this. Tonight is an open mic night. So, I mean, anybody that wants to come in that knows me, because I'm still not in a place where I feel comfortable just publishing the link in chat, because we've had some harassment doing that a couple of times, and I just don't want to deal with it, honestly. I can manage it if I have to. I can manage that, but I just don't want it popping into my life. So I'll leave this up for a minute, man, while I talk to everybody, and just say, if you know me and you want to be on the show, no matter who you are, as long as I know you, even just a little bit, know who you are, then I'll send you a link. That's what's up. And can I get that ready right now? But yeah, man. So yeah, that's the new channel, Truth versus Truth, that Leon and I guess Curious Cryptid Steve are doing together. And yeah, man, we'll see what happens. With that, I'll do whatever I can for him. So, if you guys will indulge me, one more thing. I'd like to show you. It's not that. It's not in the Chrome tab. Shoot. Okay, that's a problem. Or is it this from Safari? Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to cross over Here, window. Oh yeah, that is it. Okay, all right, so that does work. All right, check it out. Might help to hit play. Oh man. All right, so yeah, that was Matt's my buddy Matt's cool little video he made at Amicalola Falls, which is right down the road from me. Um and and uh w- what I love about that is two things is that, Matt's a Florida guy. He was up here in North Georgia in my area, and that it was a bucket list thing for him. So you can see it on his face, dude. That check mark of the bucket list. That I was like, wow, really? Like to come up here and like be just see I guess like the where the AT starts, Appalachian Trail. where it starts right up there. And I don't know, like I thought that video was cool, so I just wanted to share it with you guys. Again, this is a chill stream. Who knows where it will go? But like I thought that was cool, and so I wanted to share that. And Matt's on his little adventure right now. He's in South Carolina and heading back to Florida tomorrow. But yeah, I'm glad he got to do a bucket list check mark, man. It's cool as hell. So, yay, Matt. Oh God, oh, there's yeah. Thanks, Wit. Like, the only reason I led with it tonight was because that's exactly where I left off on Tuesday. I just thought it'd be cool to tie Tuesday and tonight together, because I was all excited for the game, and I predicted they would win, and it was just kind of fun. It's why I came back to this location, so I appreciate that. Oh, wow, Matt. That's an ambitious goal, my friend. Like, it's 1,000 miles more. It's more than 1,000 miles. It might be closer to 1,400 miles, man. Jeez. Beginning to end. People do it. They do it. It's crazy. I spent 2 days on the AT, and I was young too, man. I was young when I did that, but God, that about wore me the hell out. And I was probably 17 years old when I did that. So I don't know. Maybe start at a week. Maybe do it a week at a time. Man, I don't know. Just saying, man. No sound. Who's saying no sound? Raptor's behind, I think. I got sound, right, guys? I think I would see 20 comments that said no sound. I've only seen 2. I think I did mute my mic accidentally when the video was playing. What's up, Joe? And yeah, you saw me earlier. I popped into your show for a little while. I was busy. I mean, I was 5 minutes late to this show. Like, it's crazy. Well, that's okay. You know what? Matt is better seen than heard. I don't know. I don't know what that means, actually. And Brent, is Brent still around? Who wants to come in? Let's talk Squatch, man. I am not trying to like solo a show here. It's open mic. Come on. Like, I don't have any more material to play. I don't have anything to do but bounce off you guys in comments. That's it. That's where I'm at. I've reached the end of the road. I'm not sure where to go with anything. This is a chill stream. I'm being chill. What's going on, dude? Like, you're not feeling well? What's up? What's up with you, Mike? You got the coronas? What's going on? My guest, Ken Walker, from a week and a half ago. Ken Walker, Big Fur from Big Fur. He, I think he's got corona. and he was hospitalized, so that sucks. Yeah, it's just the flu, man. I'm assuming you've been tested, so you know it's the flu. Nikki got mad at her green screen and tore it down in a fit of rage, evidently. All right, so Mike was tested, so he's got the flu, which sucks too. Ugh, the flu's like bad. Yeah, I hear you, man. That's the thing. What's funny about that is, dude, like when I get the flu, like I lose my I don't want to say I lose my sense of taste. It changes dramatically though. So it was always weird to me to hear the coronavirus. That was a thing with the coronavirus. I'm like, well, it's a thing with the flu for me. I don't lose my sense of taste. It changes dramatically. So, and Bay is wishing you well, Mike, and so am I, bud. And I want to come, Mike. I want to come hang out with you guys. Like what you got going on your channel, man. Just hanging out, like talking shit. You know, talking shit, getting a buzz. Like, dude, I want to come be a part of that. Like, that sounds like fun. Sometime when you're better, just some point in the future. But here we are. No, not that. I mean, I can keep playing. I could find shit to play for you guys. This is a chill stream, but would be cool to have discussion. Nikki, Brent, like Leon was in here for a minute. It's like he popped in just to say hey and popped back out. He probably didn't even see that I promoted Truth for Truth. Truth, what is it called? Truth versus Truth. Yeah. No such thing. Yeah. Yes, you are a. I mean, we don't really know each other, but I know who you are. You know who I am. That kind of thing. I guess the best way to get a hold of me was, Oh wait. What was that? Probably that email. Because I don't think we're. You're playing. Oh, you're playing video games. Cool. What are you playing? What? What, Ore? What? Huh? You talking to me? Do I know who I am? Of course I do. Dude, Jorge's playing mind games already. Like, whoa, dude. Slow down. Let me catch up, Jorge. Hold on. I'm actually not sure, bro. And I don't mean to offend you by saying that. I meet a lot of people. Wait, what are you saying to me? Wait, I say Gary should go on Pat. What does that mean? What does that mean? Which Gary? You're saying somebody named Gary should come on my show? What Gary? You never got blocked here, Raptor. You may have gotten timed out once or twice. I maybe, but you've never been blocked. A timeout is way different. It's like a timeout is like you can't comment for 5 minutes or whatever. And I didn't even do that. Like, yeah. So you know, all right. Let's just be clear. Timeout is not blocked. Temporary block, yes, from chat. Okay, I gotta. Yeah. I hear you, Joe. But you're always welcome here on nights like this, especially. But hey, you are here. I'll take it. All right, let me do this real quick, guys. Do some production. Because my freaking producer, I think, is still drunk from being at the parade today. Paste. Boom. What else? What else we got? Where's Brent? Yeah. All right. So no such thing podcast guy, dude. Like, if we're friends on Facebook, you can message me or you can hit my email. We'd like to have you on. Okay, that's about all I can do. Let's go back to the main screen. I don't know how to. What? I don't know, man. Like, just message me. Like, you message me so I got something to ping back the link to you. If that makes sense. No such thing. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I just, I haven't interacted with him a lot or at all, really. All right, there we go. Oh, yeah. Okay. Gotcha. And where's the paste? Like, why am I doing all this? Yeah, man. Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Everything's good, man. Hey, man, how many times do I have to say it? This is the chill stream. Who can spot the Chihuahua in the shot? Where's the dog in the shot? Can anybody find the dog in the shot? Now you can. Now you can, because there was movement. Right? That's so quiet. It's so quiet. I want to play some music or something. Uh. Play Beast again. Yeah, sure. Do you know how to get a hold of me, Brian? If you can get a hold of me through Facebook, cool. If not, that's my email. And I've not gotten any emails tonight. Yeah. Nada. Really? That's interesting. That's actually interesting. Mike's on top of it with the trivia while he recovers from the flu. Day 4, you should about be over it, or getting there. This does not look. I guess it might change when other people come in. Yeah, I hear you, Mike. Word. I can get like that too. There's my Nikki. There's my friend.
Hello, guys. Oh, look at that fucked up. I don't have enough light right now. One of my lights blew, so I don't. It's all messed up. I don't know.
Well, you shouldn't get so mad at your freaking green screen
I
because you
know.
said you tore it down.
I tore it down because my husband bought me a brand new retractable one, and it just was too small. So you could see my wall on one side and you could see my room on the other side. After I had pulled everything down. So that's why all that happened.
Well,
but now I don't have proper lighting over here. So, you guys will have to deal with it. I'll figure it out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, what's up? Welcome to the chill stream where we're being chill tonight.
We're being chill.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's right.
I could use the chill.
Yeah, man. Just a little
good.
chill.
Friday's good for that.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, it'll all get disrupted in 10 minutes. But until then, Nikki, we'd be chill.
Well, I'm gonna have to keep muting myself because my husband's TV is like super loud right now.
I can't hear it.
You can't? I'm so surprised because it's right on the other side of that wall. And normally he's real good, but he's had a bad week too. So
no, you have a.
I'm not telling him to turn it down.
No, you have a really good mic, and you have the cover over it.
Yeah, it's directional too.
So
I only have it
directional
in the front here. Yeah,
right. You only have it in the front. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's not gonna do the thing where it's condensed. All right. So hey, first time ever on Squatch Talk, Mr. Cornell from the No Such Thing podcast. What's up, bud?
How do I sound, guys?
Perfect.
Sound great.
And how's my green screen?
Perfect.
You know, there's that little when you're like adjusting it. There's that little bit where you're all fuzzy, and then you just get that little.
You gotta have to like stay in one place, and
yeah, it's so funny, and you have to wear the right clothes too. So I
yeah.
But there's still some what do you call it? What do you call those things? I don't know what you call them, but they're still like reacting with my arm.
Mm-hmm.
Portals.
Yeah, you're glistening.
Portals.
Right
portals.
Yeah, you're phasing. You're phasing in and out of dimensions, bro.
As long as my face is looking good, I really don't care.
All right. Yeah, me too.
Somebody doesn't like my camera. I have a really good camera. It's because of my crazy green screen and poor lighting. Because I'm in the corner of my bedroom.
My hair looks so gray here, though. It's really like jet black, but I don't know what's going on. Actually,
nice to meet you, by the way, Cornell. I've watched your show, and
we've spoke back and forth. And I first watched you on the what's his face, the hoaxer guy.
Oh, Rick Dyer, my Rick Dyer show.
That was an amazing show.
Thank you.
I was hanging on to the edge of my seat, and then I went and watched his Shooting Bigfoot documentary.
Yeah.
And he was such an asshole to that guy in the woods, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
The English guy. And he was like just a total, like, I don't know, I know he was younger and stuff, and I don't know if that was an act where he was just like, shut the fuck. I don't know if I can curse on here.
You
can.
Like,
shut the F up and don't tell me what to do with my guns. You know, and he was like really confrontational. And I'm like, is that the real Rick Dyer, or was that just an act? Because they had
you never know. You just really never know. But when he's on camera, he's usually on camera. He knows it, and he will play himself to the camera almost all the time. So There's only few moments when there aren't any cameras on him that you see a little bit of the true Rick
Man,
Dyer, which
just so
really isn't
confused.
that better, but more truths come out. you
Okay.
know?
So in your show, when he looked at the camera and said everything else he did was bullshit, but what you saw in those woods was 100% real. That tent footage was real, and the interaction with the English documentary maker was real.
Right.
So that's also bullshit,
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
it's all an
Yes.
act.
Man, he's good.
Yeah,
He's good
Yeah.
at convincing you.
it's
Yeah.
all an act, dude.
It's
like,
all
Wow.
BS.
yeah,
The whole
He
thing,
was-
beginning to end, from the
Yeah.
get-go. There were really no truths to anything.
no.
So
nothing.
what's his angle? Is he looking back into the Bigfoot community?
Oh
or
no,
something?
no.
Well, why
He's
is he?
far. He's
why is
got
he-
so many issues right now that he's far from wanting to come back into the community at this point.
Why is he lying about that being true while everything else is bullshit? What's his angle?
Because he'll always leave himself room. He's just that kind
Yeah.
of guy. He will always try to, but he will always
likes
try
the
to
attention.
grab those few people who he can into
And
his
I-
illusion.
And I think he likes the attention too.
Oh,
That's
100%.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Bigfoot outside of the tent, that was the same Bigfoot mask or whatever it was that attacked the cameraman. And that was a gripping documentary. I loved that. The guy that came out of the woods and he was with his dog, and that dog had a serious flesh wound on its neck. That
Yeah.
was true.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
that was true.
what happened to the dog? How did the dog get that flesh wound?
Well,
Well, that's scary. Yeah.
it could
That was
just be we really don't know, but I mean, we're just basing it off that, the dog's been trying to get loose.
But the
And
dog's neck
strangled
was
itself.
hanging half open, and it was like not even reacting.
It
I-
depends if you believe, in whatever story that those homeless people told,
Man, it was fascinating.
So it is, and he has a way of storytelling, and he's
Mhm.
able to grip a lot of people. A lot of people are onto him now, and which was the point of me bringing him on. I got a lot of flack from people. Why would you give him a platform or blah blah blah? And I'm like, because I'm probably the only person who has the platform to do that. I'm a hoaxing channel, and he's a hoaxer. So
is
why would I
completely
not bring
appropriate.
on the
It's perfect.
only hoaxer who admits to hoaxing and did it twice?
And brags
know?
about it.
So
Hey, he's-
and I'm the
yeah.
only one he's allowed, he's come on, the only show he's come on to do that. Now he's done his own. He's very open about talking on TikTok and making his own YouTube channel and
Yeah.
and going through all his story like an open book. From his divorce to his lawsuits, his businesses, everything. He's out there. He loves the attention, and he will keep doing that for as long as anybody will listen to him.
Now, was that girl in the back seat? Was that his daughter?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I thought that he was maybe taking advantage of her or something. That's
Oh
good.
no,
Okay.
no, he's
Okay,
got a
good.
lot of kids.
Okay.
But
That
his
puts my mind
wife
at
at the
rest.
time, she was gorgeous. She's very small, thin lady.
I don't like
so.
small and thin, but he's a good looking guy, until he takes his shirt off. Well, in the documentary, maybe he's lost weight. I don't know.
Well, he had a tummy tuck. He went to Mexico and he had a big old tummy tuck done.
Man, the stories never end.
Oh yeah.
I thought
He's been like dealing with the Mexican cartel. He's
No way.
had all kinds of shit happen.
but I
and I
thought
follow him just because it's interesting,
But
people
I
are-
thought that your interview with him was one of the best I've seen. And then when Steve Coles came on, and
Yeah, that was awesome.
Steve Coles is like, you piece of shit, and it just and you were like trying to be the moderator in a presidential debate, but you handled it really well. And I was
Well,
like, this. And then they ended up friends. and then
Oh
they
yeah,
ended up
it took a
reminiscing about
turn,
old
and you know
times.
the main argument only took place in like 3 minutes.
Yeah,
It
Yeah,
really
it
wasn't
was
very
real-
long that
right.
they were,
Yeah.
at each other.
It was a shit
And-
show for 3 minutes, and then it calmed down, man. Yeah.
And that was not planned. Okay, now I
Oh, I
had,
know it
Not,
wasn't.
yeah.
I wanted to.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
Hey, Brent.
Brent,
What's up? How's it going?
Effing that up.
I really wanted to get in touch with him, but at the time, me and Squatch DTV had shows that kind of overlap. And I knew he was on his way back from, I think it was the Texas Bigfoot conference at that time. So I just thought, well, I'm just going to leave it at that and do my show and just concentrate it on me and him. And that, I'm going to let him talk. I'm going to let him say whatever he wants and see what I can get him to say or not say, and just make sure. I had a lot of notes, and if he missed something, I could always go back. Well, what about this? What about that? And this was said, but man, he really covered from beginning to end a lot of the details that I wanted him to talk about. And near the end, when I got that text,
Yeah.
from Steve saying, "Hey, I want on,"
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh shit."
When I got to that part of the podcast, I was like, "Oh yes, yes."
Popcorn.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, this is
throwing
gonna
the
get
popcorn
good."
in my face, yeah.
And
Yes,
and a lot of people were like, mute him or take him out. And I'm like, hell
No.
no, I'm not going to take him out. This is when something's going to be said that shouldn't be said. And I had no intention of muting either one of them during that little altercation.
Well, he tried to be like diplomatic and stuff, and like
yeah,
but
hey, the
you
name
couldn't.
calling and stuff. You guys can, banter all you want, but let's try to at least keep it a little bit civil and but that's how his guard was up when Steve came on. He wanted to play, hey, this is not cool.
But it's funny
And-
because these guys are all. I've been into the Bigfoot world, like Matt there from Central Florida, Bigfoot. I've been into the Bigfoot world for about 2 years, and I don't know all this stuff.
Oh,
And these guys have been into it for like 20 or 30 years, and it's
Mhm.
like Thomas Steenberg and stuff. So for me, I'm still getting to know all the characters. It's like Pokemon,
and hence my channel is to let people know not
Right.
to be so gullible about the first picture they see, about the first story they hear, about just beware, ask questions. Why isn't there more footage before and after this clip?
Right.
Why anything, ask anything, but don't just say, man, that's the best Bigfoot I've ever seen.
or just fake. That's what they'll write in the Facebook pages, fake, and then they'll offer nothing else. Fake.
Right.
That's it. I mean, what do you mean it's fake? How did you arrive at that conclusion? Give me some.
And I used to be that kind of person too. I would just get so tired of seeing the same thing posted over and over and over. Not real, not true, not real, and then leave. But now that I've got my own platform and I'm starting to put these out there, now I say, no, that's not for him. And if you would like more information about that, come to my show. Harry Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks, episode 3. I will, let you know all the rest of the story.
What I loved about what Leon did was he did a video, and I've posted this video on various Facebook groups, and people are like, well, he doesn't offer any explanation as to why these bits of footage were fake. You do in a couple, but it's like, well, it's up to you to go and research this. It's not up to Leon to give you all the links and give you all the explanations. The Independence Day footage, Leon, you posted, and it was part of your little video there. And everybody's like, well, he didn't really link us to why it was fake or why it was questionable. But that's up to the viewer to go and research themselves. You know what I mean?
Right. You can only give them
Muted.
so much information, but they
Muted.
need to take that and go find that for themselves. If they end up looking at all that and say, "Oh no, I still think it's Bigfoot," well then fine. At least they went and they, did the work or went and checked it out for themselves. But a lot of people are just not doing that, unfortunately.
No.
Well, they don't know how. They don't know that they need to. They're
Right.
too trusting, and that's the thing is, gotta not be so trusting and be friends, but still verify.
No, I would back up a little bit on that one. They should be totally trusting. The channels people who put the channels out need to be more forthright with what they're doing.
Well, I was just talking
Because
about the random evidence they come across or video that gets posted in the Facebook group. Yeah.
I mean, the idea about that video, the reason why I did it is, again, for the people who follow what I'm doing, so that they know it's been vetted, they get the information, they can say, okay, this is not waste our time. They might even become curious about it. And that's the part you want. You want people to get curious. Everything I shared on that video was just enough for people to find what I didn't have as far as information to find out what they found out about each of those videos. And if we're about education and we want to up the game, the key part is to you don't do for the learner for what they can do for themselves, but you give the learner enough to make them curious about a topic that maybe not all of them. You're not looking for all of them. You're looking for the right people, or I won't say right people. That's going to be offensive to some people, but the people who are more curious about it at a level that the others might not be. And they will start researching it themselves to find out whether or not it's true or not. So everyone who says, well, he hasn't showed me anything, you notice that below that comment, none of them went and investigated to show me what they had found. So that's the part that's missing. It's not that people are, that we're not stupid, but man, we don't have much energy. I mean, when you get older, you don't have much energy. You're running a family, you're running your life, you're trying to do all this kind of stuff. So it takes a lot to do. I can say one total fibby poo-poo thing like Joe had online there on his show tonight. I hate that you guys have your channels on at the same time, man. Like Sunday is going to be crazy because I can't watch any of you because one of us are getting together with someone else.
And I just bumped my show up.
I'm not sure.
Because
Go ahead, Nikki. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, because of that, I bumped my show up an hour. I was talking to Pat about it, and I said, you think I should bump it up an hour? Because halfway through, Squatch Talk comes on, and then you can see the numbers drop,
Yeah,
and I don't want that.
No, Steve's show, Squatch TV.
Squatch, what did I say?
You said Squatch Talk.
Squatch Talk.
Yeah.
Oh,
thanks for the plug.
Yeah, Squatch D. And Coles.
Yeah,
so
Coles.
Now I'll be on 5 p.m. instead of 6, everybody, just so you know. A little bit earlier, but
your
that's
time.
okay.
Your
my
time.
And actually, when do we change here pretty soon in the next few days?
Saturday.
Yes, Sunday morning. Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to affect
Sunday
everybody else because
it's a stupid thing. It's a conspiracy. It's put in place by aliens from another planet.
Oh man, we need to get rid of that. We need to get rid of that. I was talking to the kids about that, man. That's such a horrible thing, that time change. Oh,
it is. I agree. It should just be what it's about to be, standard time, all year long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't mind the fall back one because that's an extra hour of sleep, but the spring forward sucks.
Yeah, really. Okay, we're getting up at 4 tomorrow morning. All 4 toddlers. Great.
No, it's
that'll be a fun time.
It's standard time is real time. Daylight savings is fake, man-made, change everything time.
Yeah, more sunlight.
Yeah.
Save electricity. All that
yeah,
kind of stuff.
yes, because when you change the clock, you get more sunlight. You change the tilt of the earth, right?
No, you don't. You don't actually change
well,
the
no,
tilt of
but
the
the thing is,
I mean,
it's too
here,
big to tilt. Come on.
It's not more sunlight.
No,
It's
but
just
that's
how we-
not. No,
Yeah.
but when you live in the Southwest, it makes a difference. Okay,
No, it doesn't.
living here. Okay, because then we are getting up in pitch blackness. And the sun doesn't come rising up for another 2 hours.
So am I, dude. I
So
live the same
it's not like
latitude
that.
as you.
That's dude at
It is
Pat, dude
different,
at.
and I understand
Yeah.
why they do it because of the whole work thing. And
No, there's a
No.
different.
but
no,
Arizona
Leon,
doesn't
reason.
change at
What's the
all.
reason why
At
they
all.
do it, Leon? Why did they start doing it?
Because it's a
know the
conspiracy
answer?
from Mothman.
No. It's something to do with the school kids in the mornings.
No,
right?
no.
Yeah,
Trails.
totally. Yeah. And then you as a parent have to navigate him and get him to school. And they're wondering, why are we getting up an hour early? I don't want to get up. Yeah.
I think
Have
it's
fun
something
with that
to do with
morning.
the school kids getting up in the dark and having to walk to school. I
Oh,
think
well,
is
that
that
could
why
be.
they did the time
That's
change?
not for us. That's not, I mean, that might have been part
It's
of the
British.
package. Oh, could
Started
be.
in Britain.
Could be.
Actually,
I think it was Ben Franklin who did
What?
the whole time change here in America for the crops for farmers.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It's
Yeah,
not
if I
for the
remember
farmers
correctly.
or the cattle or anything.
That makes no sense either.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I would definitely fact check me on that one. That's
I
like,
thought it was because kids going into school were going to school in the dark and it was more dangerous for them with the traffic. That's what I thought it was.
No,
Oh, it could
no,
be.
because
Could be in Britain
truth,
for
no,
sure.
no. The truth is that daylight savings time actually puts it in the dark more. It puts it in the dark more in the springtime
Oh,
and
really?
towards
Okay.
the end of summer and the fall.
Oh, okay. I
So
can't think.
standard time, it would be more light. It would be more like sunrise.
It
Like,
depends where you're
Oh.
living on the globe.
Yeah, right. Okay. Well, the
Ah,
British,
I
go
I think
north
the British
from
started
me.
it, so it makes sense.
Get him
Yeah,
out.
when you go
Get him out.
north from me, you can have your whole 24
True.
dark
Right.
all the time. So
Yes. So
Uh,
that's the days are even shorter up there in the
there is no days.
Yeah. Right.
It's,
Yeah.
We're gonna have nighttime. You're gonna have a nap for about 4 months.
it's
that'll be fun.
ridiculous.
Well, when I was growing up in Ireland, it wouldn't in the summer. It didn't get dark until like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
It was
Same
awesome.
here.
Northern latitude, yeah. You
Yeah,
grew up in Ireland? That's
yeah.
amazing.
I'm from Ireland. I
I would
didn't
never know. I would never know. Never ever known that.
Oh yeah. No shit. I didn't come to America.
I
until
thought
was
I thought
30.
you were from Pittsburgh or something.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
No, I'm from Ukraine. No, I'm from
I thought you were Australian, honestly.
Some people have actually
Really?
said that, and I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
I never thought he's ever been Australian.
I don't even have a tan.
Yeah, but I'm Canadian, so we're a little more familiar with the linguistic tones in your voices.
Well, that's what's good about
That's
the
right,
British
eh?
community. We've got people from all over the world, claiming that they have a bipedal creature, in their part of the world. We've got the Yowie and the swamp ape and the friggin'. I'm sure there's something down in South America. I'm not too sure.
Well,
They've
from my understanding of how portals work, you can go anywhere on the planet.
Wow, that's a good point. That's a very
That's
good
true.
point.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And if you're cloaking, you can go shopping and no one would know it. You'd be a great shoplifter as well. Never thought about
I tripped
that.
the other day. And I was like, geez, I bet you that was a Bigfoot tripping me. A cloaked one.
DMT.
So I thought, like, geez.
So we're gonna get in trouble. We're gonna get in trouble.
Of course.
Technical difficulties.
Oh.
We're just having some fun. Hey guys, it's a chill stream. It's a casual stream. We can make jokes about
Oh.
portals. It's okay.
Oh, no, I was being serious.
Okay, porcupine.
Oh.
No,
Had to
stop.
bring
No,
that card
no,
out.
no.
Had to
No,
bring that
don't go
card
down
out.
that road. I'm cutting that one off for the night, man. We can't. I don't want to do. No. Nope.
Well, it's all Brent's fault because he's going to put 3 more videos out after the one he put out today.
I'm still
Way to
waiting.
go.
I'm waiting on his rebuttal video. I check
No.
every day.
No, that was it. I wanted to do like a trilogy, like Back to the Future. How
Star Wars.
Oh my god.
yeah, it's a trilogy. You got to have a trilogy, and it's like, gosh, it just felt incomplete. So it's like, and then he came out with that 7th video. I'm like, it's been about 20 minutes and doing the video, and I'm like, there you go.
I know. Don't you
And,
have to Don't you have to like vacuum your house and do laundry or something?
Actually, yeah. Well, actually, I did that later or earlier in the stream, but yeah,
I mean,
it's just
not
that.
you, I mean him to do it 7 times. I mean that.
Oh yeah,
3-minute video I put out, I probably spent about 10 hours on it, 12 hours on the freaking thing, and it still didn't turn out the way I was hoping at the end. But whatever, And not to mention that people are already commenting about who I used in regards to the narration, because they're absolutely monsters. Well, yeah, you better make sure you do all the research on that one before you make claims, because it can make one liable.
Which video?
The one you showed tonight, which I
the
appreciate
truth, truth versus truth.
And the idea, again, it's not a channel about Bigfoot. It's not what
Why?
the channel's for. The channel is about how do you systematically think and look at things so you know what you're
Right.
actually looking at. It's an educational channel. My life is not Bigfoot. My life is what I've been trying to do with this next channel and my other channel I have, which is about education. I want to help this topic.
Sure.
I'm not here to not help the topic,
Sure.
but people can't recognize that, it seems. Well, not in all cases, because the funny thing is I put that video on 2 different sites. One was the Bigfoot site, my Bigfoot Okanagan site, and also on an academic site. And the others, both sites, it's funny because you get information from it. What kind of responses do you get? Do you get thumbs up, thumbs down? What's the comments on one side? What type of thinker compared to another type of thinker? The comparison, I didn't get any on the negative at all. No negative comments whatsoever at all on the one site, and the others, and they're like, "Oh, this is awesome. This will be interesting. This will be, And on the other side, I got this. I think there's that you're doing some kind of manipulation, and I like these people. As a matter of fact, this one particular person who left a comment, she's been with me from the beginning, and she's a great person. And I don't think she's not intelligent or anything, but the idea about having that channel is I can't pretend anymore. I can't pretend that what people are claiming to be facts about the topic that I'm trying to locate. Hey, Steve, glad you made it on here. Cornell, he was saying hi to you too. He texted me on the side there and said, "Hey, make sure you say hi to him." So,
oh yeah, I love Steve. He's great. We had a great conversation. How do I make myself, like, if I have to go for a pee or something? How do I?
No, you're not allowed to. No. If you have any accents on the show,
we all bring bottles with us. Yeah.
Stop
We
cam.
bring bottles. Yeah.
So you
No,
turn
how do
your
I do
camera.
that? Seriously.
You see the
Stop cam. Stop cam.
Yeah.
There's a button that says stop cam.
Yeah.
Where?
Leave
Yeah.
your mic.
Oh yeah,
on.
yeah, I see it.
Yeah, but leave the mic on just for fun.
I will. No, I'm not going to piss right here.
Oh. Oh, that's funny. That's what I do all the time.
Oh man. Perfect. Love it.
So it was kind of interesting watching Joe tonight with Lee on their channel, because they did all these. I'm not sure where Joe got the video because I missed the first part, but they showed all these videos of all these other kind of cryptic creatures.
Yeah.
And they all have beliefs to them, and they all have folklore stories, and there's certain measurements of people who buy certain beliefs about each of those systems there. And then at the very end, he shows the Bigfoot one. And so you're judging some of these so-called backstories on these crypto creatures. And you can almost, if you do a check-in with yourself as you're doing that, you can almost take a read a bit on, do you kind of buy it or don't you kind of buy it? Like, do I kind of buy this or don't I kind of buy this? And then there's one that seemed to grasp you more. And then there's other ones like, oh, come on. Like, Joe, what was that one? The goat head or the goat?
There was a lot of weird ones.
Goat man. That's what it was. Goat man.
Yeah.
I'm going to attack you. Great. Here's some M&Ms. Oh,
Yeah.
And how do you make a goat's face look like it's got fangs and stuff? Like, no, it's got denture stuff. You look at it. Come on, use some Colgate. What's your problem there, mister? Anyways, but I just thought it was interesting because each of those are kind of like different systems, and there's actually people who you can put fairies on there as well and pixies on there as well. That actually
That's
people buy into and
clearly
believe.
folklore. That's clearly falls
Well,
in
from
the
your
category of
angle,
folklore.
yeah, but from some percentage of the population, for some reason, it's not. It's to them that it becomes a belief, truth, reality to them. So,
Sure.
when I look at the system, and if you're trying to help the system, which is I think what we're doing, and it's again at the beginning, it's always going to get misinterpreted. You know, we're causing problems. We're doing
But
this,
there's
but it has to shift, and it has to shift in a conflict way, but not in a conflict way where it's abusive. And unfortunately, the one side will usually be the abuser side, and the other side has to be patient enough until all of a sudden the mass gets bigger than the ideology, and then the ideology flips. And that's what we want. We want people to look at this topic. There's no bloody reason, if you just looked at the numbers, 50 years with the amount of people that have been in the bush, if they had the right capacities, we would have them. We would know for sure we wouldn't be having these channels, or we'd be having channels with film footage. And if you looked at the percentages of videos that are online right now, think about it. The percentage of videos that are claiming are Sasquatch, and we could probably put maybe 5 to 10 out of the thousands of videos that are on YouTube, just on YouTube, not on other platforms. There's something seriously missing. And we're trying to figure what that is out. And we're trying not to move into being having our own cognitive dissonance, because after a while, when you do see a lot of garbage, you want to dismiss everything. So you're critical of everything. So you might miss the evidence in front of your face.
It's
It's
true.
a tough one, you guys, because we've been out here for a while and there's a lot of garbage, and it affects you after a while because you're just used to seeing garbage all the time.
That's
And
why
that's-
I visit Bigfoot debunking shows rather than I do encounter shows. I think they're more fun. The shows like yours,
Yeah.
rather than encounter after encounter after encounter, I want to see the other side
Yeah.
because I'm so
There's a point-
sick of all the crap on Facebook, and I don't know. You know,
Well,
you know
you've
what-
gotten there really fast then, because it took me a long time to get to
Yeah.
that point.
There's
Some
a-
of us are
Slower here,
Yeah,
go
there's a
little
point
slower
where-
in your head.
Yeah, there's a point where the stories are, you're kind of over them, and the encounters, you want more. You want to find out what's really true, what's not, because you're finding
Right.
inconsistency in some of these stories to the point where it's like, wow, I don't know what I should believe, and which starts the journey to discovery.
Well, at one
Right.
point too, you have to decide the shift, which is I can't pretend anymore. Like I can't. I don't care if I'm on. I don't care if I'm on YouTube shows anymore. Matter of fact, I don't care whether or not, like, even though I am starting another channel, but I have to do the other channel because that keeps me in a sense of reality. Now, that's offensive to some people that are, as soon as they heard me say that, they're thinking it's a personal attack. Well, it's not a personal attack, but it's a good thing. Like Steve wrote this thing on the video of Truth versus Truth channel I want to do up. And at the very top says, he's suggesting if you happen to be watching this and all of a sudden you become awkwardly uncomfortable, I'll say, maybe, and then he explains what's happening to you, and maybe you want to look at this, hoping that people in the comment section will catch on to that. Because if you are subjectively reacting to something, you're objectively not hearing at all the video I produced for you, because you're too busy already caught on a subjective feeling about what you think I'm trying to say, which is I'm personally attacking the Bigfoot community. Well, I am personally attacking the Bigfoot community because that's what you do with evidence. And the declarations that are coming out of the Bigfoot community online, not the people who are the viewers. You guys got to make sure you reiterate that as well, because a lot of viewers are reacting to us saying that, but what they're taking it on is that we're talking about them. We're not talking about them. We're talking about the channels that are out there.
Well,
This
it's
is-
it's like Steve's channel,
Mm,
How to Hunt or Dixie Cryptid. I love listening to those stories, but there's no way that I can verify
them.
if they're real or not.
Right.
it's just stories.
I need
Yeah.
the source.
No, it's
And-
just stories. At the end of
Right.
the day, man, it's all stories unless you develop a relationship with the person telling the story. It's just
Well,
a story.
It should also be thrown in that the people telling the story is getting financial benefit from it as well. So,
Well,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Pat, could you email Dave Wilbanks a link?
I don't know who that is.
Bigfoot and more at yahoo.com.
Well, I sent you the link, so if you know him,
Oh,
you can,
yeah,
Copy
you
and
can
paste
share the
it.
link.
you can send
okay,
him the
okay.
link.
Yeah,
I
just
don't
like I sent you the link.
Carry on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for your permission for us to carry on, especially the Americans. Us Canadians, we like you guys. Don't attack us again, please. Oh, wait a second. You're in the States.
It's about to be a full house. We got all kinds of links going out.
Hey, let's Brady Bunch this stuff right now. Let's do it.
It's about to happen. My casual stream is becoming very serious and
Let's see who gets this
intellectual.
dinner square.
Well, I mean, I'm so encouraged. It's going to get messy online here for sure, because that wave crest is getting closer. And it's gonna, when it first spills over the first time, that whatever group of people are the first one that spill over it for the first time, they're gonna get the brunt of it. But it'll just keep moving forward. Then the rest of it will start spilling over, because it is funny. Someone was saying about, well, why are you going after Christopher Noel? I don't have to go after Christopher Noel. There's hundreds of channels, not quite. There's a lot of channels doing it. It's like this is crazy thinking. And then also with Thinker Thunker stuff, it's crazy thinking. Look, if it's entertainment, that's cool. But don't start defending the position as if it's factual, because that's no longer entertainment. That's education.
Yeah.
And that moves to a different side of the
framed.
formula. And
it's
so
framed, yeah.
Right.
Thinker
And so-
Thunker frames his stuff as educational, if you like, or informative.
Yes.
And it's a completely false, manipulative narrative, obviously.
Well, we definitely caught him in some pretty bad stuff. In my
Well, yeah,
opinion,
I mean, he had to. He retracted the Feller Buncher video. I couldn't believe it. Like, that blew my mind, and I was a part of that. I wasn't the whole of that, but I was a part of it.
And also,
That felt
Bigfoot,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
Bigfoot Tony also exposed him for using intentionally lower pixel video.
He
to,
cleared it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, dude, Thinker Thunker's only ever done one retraction, and that was the Feller Buncher thing. And
hasn't done the Mission Lake one, the mission one either at Logan Lake or Hoover Lake. Sorry, the one I went up there with Thomas to talk to Thomas.
Maybe it's just one per year that he does.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But again,
that was the only one I ever saw. But yeah.
I'm part of the idea about having to get out of a system when the system is affecting you, so you get back to a neutral ground, is you got to get out of the system, because as much as we can go and rant and rave, you better believe that we have kind of, what's the word looking for? Reward sources in our own system by being online. Subconsciously, that are running. Oh, look at people who are watching me. Oh, I get to talk tonight. Oh, I haven't talked to anybody all week, and they're online, and they're going to have the pleasure of having me yak all night long. No, that won't happen. But I don't know. Maybe it will.
Don't speak so soon.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, but I mean, I'll tell you. Like I said, I mean, this is not a little thing. Is that we've got at least 6 channels, 7 or 8 channels that are talking this way. That wasn't around 2 years ago.
Not even close.
It was one source or another source, or you had Richter kind of thing, so and that was okay, but it wasn't enough of the force to change the community, you could say, because it just wasn't. We were just outgunned by people for having fun. But it didn't help the people who were actually trying to look to give the viewers at home even better material, because we weren't equipping it. We were just following what we saw online and saying the same thing. And if we would have kept going, Brent, after 5 years of being in the group that we first started with, and we kept following and bending the knee to a certain individual that you mentioned tonight that is very prickly, we would be doing videos like that and showing people with plush toys our evidence. Look at my teddy bears. My teddy bears are lined up in a row to tell you it was 17 feet tall. Like, all right. I mean, I've never met any kind of researcher, anything, whether it's photography or bushcraft or hunting, where they open up their case and they say, and remember your plush bear. If anything, you need a plush bear, because you're going to get scared out there, and you're going to have to hold on to something to calm your nerves down. Come on. Do we want to find them, or don't we want to find them? We can find these. If they are real, 100% real, talking from a guy who believes he's seen one, that's pretty bad that I'm even now speculating about my own memory because of the negativity on here, because of the influence of being online. And I'd rather get out of the whole thing and just focus on other thing and specific people and see if we can do something totally different. So that's my side of the story. But I'm done. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
You're done ranting? Save it for my podcast tomorrow night.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, gotcha.
Hey,
I'm gonna pick his brains.
5 p.m. Yeah, my time.
Well, that's gonna be a good one.
Is it
Who
Jay's
did you-
birthday today?
Tomorrow.
Oh.
Ooh.
who did you invite, Cornell?
I invited Dave Wilbanks, Bigfoot and more.
Okay,
He's awesome.
here. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
he's a
about
good solid dude.
It's
Yeah, he's my
about to get Brady
co-
Bunch. So
He's my co-host,
okay, it's
or
about
I'm
to
his
get
co-host.
it's about to get Brady Bunch. So not a lot of
He is the
stumping.
only white man to have seen the casino footage.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
in Bigfootville. He's got a lot of credentials. This guy
I'm
is
I'm
solid.
bringing him in,
Oh,
and-
awesome.
and Jorge. So we're
Oh, and
we're-
Jorge.
Orgy.
and yeah, we're
Wow.
throwing
I'm gonna get really
we're
small.
throwing a curveball here. So Jorge's coming into. Jorge is the he's our local skeptic here on Squash
Oh, I
Talk.
love that.
And
We're all
yes, we
skeptics.
love that too because we need that balance always.
Yeah,
Even though we're,
He's definitely
we're
still
trying to
learning
be
about the
objective.
subject. He's still learning.
Yeah, but still, we're bringing him in. Welcome to the stream, David Wilbanks
Hey,
and
Dave.
Hey,
Mr. Jorge, who's muted.
Hey, I want
Hello.
you guys to know I was in bed asleep and Cornell buzzed me and woke me up and said to come on here.
He
You
knows
gotta
when
do it.
he's
So I
sees
threw a
greatness.
no better way to spend a Friday
And I'm
night.
on my,
Welcome to the
yeah,
show.
I'm on my cell phone, so you guys are like really tiny.
Well, that's fine. We can see you perfectly. And we can hear
Oh,
you
great.
perfectly.
Well, I'm using my cell phone, so everybody's always really tiny.
Dave and I, I'm just
Hey,
going to
Brent.
plug us for a second. Dave and I started a new show called Into the Void, and we co-host the show, and we interview people like Brett. And well, tomorrow night we've got we've got our friend here, Leon. I had to look at your name. For a
Not
second.
tomorrow night, Sunday night. Right?
Is it Friday?
It's Friday.
Tonight's
Isn't it?
Friday.
You're right. You're right.
Good,
Sorry.
good, because I could be wrong.
Brain's starting to go.
yeah, Sunday night.
Okay,
Yeah,
now
so-
whose show am I on here? I have no idea where I'm at.
Squatch Talk.
You're,
Yeah.
you're on my
Squatch
channel.
Talk.
Hello, Red Duo. I love that.
You're on.
Nice.
You're
Hey,
on.
I'm not kidding.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking that we should say it's your channel.
Yeah.
When I said
You're
I
on
was asleep,
Jorge's
I was
channel.
not kidding.
We like to talk about big red things you find in the woods.
I noticed that with your robot. In the lawn in the backyard. It's real. It was in my yard. A huge red. Oh, I don't know. What is
Robot
that?
Penis.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So
Shoot. Somebody. Nobody. Nobody. Just don't stump speech too much. Let's bounce it around.
Yep.
What you got?
silence, really. Is it Jorge? Is that how you pronounce?
I have no preferred pronunciation. You
Okay, well,
say
you
how
have, let's start from the beginning because I've never met you, but I've been dying to be online the same time you are. What is your actual name, if you don't mind me asking you that question?
So, in my in what I do for a living,
Bill,
I don't want my internet persona being construed with it. So, most I'll
okay.
give you is I live in the Midwest, and
Okay.
my
Oh,
educational background, I have a master's in geophysics.
Okay, so how would you like to be addressed as?
Jorge, ogre, orgy,
I like
Jorge, whatever you want.
I like or ogre is a good one.
Yeah.
Not that you're an ogre, I don't think, but it's a
Yeah,
good one,
just
'cause people
address
would
it as you
people would
perceive it.
you as an
Yeah, there you
ogre.
go. I'm easy.
Yeah.
Well, we
And
heard
I'm,
about
I've been
that. That's
drinking
why
a
you're
lot,
on
too,
here.
so that's my other excuse.
What is the accent? I can't place the accent. Is that Midwest accent or? are
That's
you
a
from
that's
somewhere
a
else?
speech impediment, technically.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Don't apologize. It's gotten me laid plenty of times. It's cool.
Immediate awesome sauce.
Oh boy.
My accent has got me laid a few times too.
It's nice, ain't it?
It's nice, ain't it? Yeah. Also, it changes. So, what's your perception of what you walked into here?
I've been to this channel. I've been here
still taking the
many
shades off
times.
my head here, yeah.
Well, that's what
I'm
I mean.
sorry?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Who's talking?
Well,
David was talking.
Thank you.
No, I
answer
have
the-
no idea what I walked into. I just
Yeah.
got an email from Cornell. My phone
It's a-
buzzed, woke me up, and then the StreamYard link on it, so I clicked on it.
It's an open discussion, but yeah. Or
Okay.
hey, if you could answer Leon's question, what was
Yeah,
the question, Leon?
Something.
Well, it's not. I realize you've been on more than once. That's why I'm asking the question.
I
Because
like
you're
to- so
you're
actually,
go ahead.
I was just telling a different stream that I was in about why I like to come on here, and the way I phrased it was so I run
That
an
would've been
atheist channel.
interesting.
I do a lot of like science based stuff. You know, I
For sure.
want to sound smart even though I'm not, and so I talk with a lot of theists about Noah's flood and all that stuff. You know, given my geology background.
That's not
And
real.
I like coming on this channel in particular because the people I talk to talk to me like they're having a discussion at a bar, and they don't talk to me like they're trying to get views off of catching me saying a dumb thing. So, and if you've been on the internet a lot, I think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
then
Yeah,
it's
I
full
know
of-
what you mean, Jorge.
Yeah.
So, Jorge swims real deep in the skeptic versus probably a lot of theologian stuff, right? Like you're talking about Noah's Ark, like the real
Yeah.
heavy, like modern day debate type crowds. Yeah,
Yeah, I got this channel from Modern Day Debate, so exactly.
Right. Yeah,
And yeah, I as I've said before, I like the idea of Bigfoot existing. I don't preclude its possibility, but all the evidence I've seen has been either I would describe it as either misrepresentation from not knowing and just believing the myth, or it's been people boasting stories for credit for rep and get people to talk about them. So that's the way I view most all Bigfoot stuff. And as Pat's brought up many times, the excuses why we don't have better technology don't seem to fly. I remember being in a conversation with people saying that, like, if they had concrete proof of Bigfoot, they wouldn't announce it because, like, people would go and, like, try to take them or put them in the zoo or something. And, like, they wouldn't shoot Bigfoot if given the opportunity because they don't want to harm him. And to me, that seems ridiculous. If you're in this community and you could shoot Bigfoot and bring the corpse back and everyone would know he's 100% true, I don't believe anyone wouldn't do that given the opportunity. And I talked way too much, and I apologize.
No, what are you talking about? For myself, I don't think I would agree with that. I understand why you would say that, I believe, but I think most people can't pull a trigger on an animal.
No, I'm talking about hunters saying this.
Well, yeah, okay, that's different though. But if you're looking at Sasquatchers, come on here, we're talking Sasquatch researchers. Remember, they're out here. If you're talking Sasquatch researchers, there's more of a kumbaya with nature kind of personality. So they're not more likely going to pull the trigger.
I will
not
agree,
in all
Leon.
cases, though. Not in all cases. There's actually groups that are out there like, how come I can't remember her name? Strain. What's her name?
Kathy Strand.
Kathy.
She wouldn't come on my show.
Right.
She's an anthropologist.
I'm
Right.
butthurt.
And they
I
are
got
out there
it.
and they would put one down, so it's not that it's not feasible. The question would be, I was thinking as you were talking, I was going to say, well, can you do me a favor if you don't mind? What's that, Leon? If you ever find any evidence, could you bring it and show the rest of us?
Well, that's kind of my point. I come from
That's right.
my background would be if I could come up with something that disproved the paradigm, I would do it because that would make me the most famous geologist in the world. Like if I could figure out a disproof of plate tectonics, even though I've grown up my entire life, spent over a decade in that idea, I would publish and tell everyone Brainbug, I would publish and tell everyone my disproof of plate tectonics because that makes me the dude, on top of helping humans and all that jazz. So I find it weird that people would say they wouldn't do that most optimum solution because no one in the Bigfoot community thinks it's one Bigfoot, right? Y'all talk about it as though it's like a tribe. So if I shoot one, they're not going to go extinct.
Well, I get killed by the other ones that you didn't see there.
Well, shooting one would actually allot the rest of them some protection because once you can validate a species exists, and a species that would exist in as small as the number that Sasquatch would have to be for to account for the sparse sightings, that would automatically put them on the endangered species list and allot them all kinds of protection. So shooting one would actually be better for the species than to not shoot it.
Yeah, but you got to think the person who pulls that trigger is going to be the most hated man in the world.
No, I 100% disagree.
Wow.
Well, you guys, I mean,
if they're as human-like as people describe them to be, yeah, he's going to be one of the most hated men for killing
dolphins
what
are very
is so
human-like,
rare.
but
It's like
you can
going
eat
to go
dolphin
kill a
right
snow
now.
leopard.
I mean, there's plenty of people that shoot that sort of stuff, and they're not hated by the vast majority. What?
Well, I would take it. I
You
would
see
take
the
it from
trophy hunters. You see the trophy hunters. How well they're received.
I don't think they care because they're super rich.
Yeah. Yeah,
I would take a different angle a little bit, gentlemen, and that would be that I understand totally, and I come from a tradition of hunters, so I understand. It doesn't bother me if one had to be killed. That seals the nail on the coffin, and then we can do whatever we would do, like everyone's suggesting. But we're talking the Bigfoot community in regards to their perception. So the reason why I like, for myself and Bigfoot Okanagan, we have a literal skeptic that comes with us. I'm a skeptic as well. And a lot of my time is having to go through evidence that's just dump trucks and dump trucks and dump trucks of just pure garbage. So when you're looking at trying to move this forward from you guys as skeptics, and when I asked you the original question, Ogre,
yes,
I
will respond.
It was about, I wanted to honestly understand, because your perception of what you're perceiving in the Bigfoot community is if you were to analyze it objectively. So when I came online, I'm not probably your normal person you've talked to, but I came on to research what happens to someone who comes into the Bigfoot community, and also to study the Bigfoot community as a system. So it's interesting that you guys are here because you're part of that study as well.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you have skeptics that come in and join in Bigfooter people? But the other thing is, this particular channel is so different than any other channels because most of us on these channels here are skeptics. And so we find it's kind of humorous from our angle when we watch you come on, because we're not coming from it from all these other channels that you've probably perceived or you thought you were on. Because we would probably mostly totally say, yeah, you're totally right on all that. We might have our own cognitive bias that we react to because we believe in them as some kind of nice thing.
I would 100% agree with that sentence. That what you described is the way I perceive this channel. And I've also not been on other Bigfoot channels to compare. So I'll have to, I will accept what you said.
Okay. I appreciate that. I would suggest then, and that would mean that you have a cognitive dissonance perspective of what you believe Bigfooters are. Because if we recognize, okay, well, that's awesome. And see, this is the thing that's missing in the Bigfoot community scene is they don't have the capacity to have just a discussion. There's so much subconscious or subjective belief in them that it's always just below the surface of getting triggered. Are you an anti-vaxxer? You have to watch who you talk to now. You know, it's like walking around with a bunch of crocodiles, you know. Are you a Trump supporter? You're not? Oh, you are? You know,
there goes your channel, Pat.
No.
I mean, I would love to talk to you guys more.
Yeah, we're a chill stream, remember?
Yeah, chill, right? Chill
stream.
You're right. I've worked like 14-hour days.
There is some truth to the fact that people who are willing to believe certain pseudoscience ideas are more prone to believe other ideas of a similar nature. And that's not to say that those ideas are all that every idea that person has is on equal footing. You know, all these things need to be weighed on their own merit, and someone's acceptance of them be weighed on that. You can be a completely rational person and believe you saw a UFO, for instance, believe the bottom of to the core of your being that what you saw was an alien spacecraft. And every other point of view that you have, you're skeptical on, you know, like religion, on cryptozoology, on anything like that. But you're just sure about this one thing. It's And people have a tendency to, instead of accepting that everybody's an individual and has their individual beliefs and their reasons for that, like to lump people together. Sure, you can draw some Venn diagrams, but you got to give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Well said.
Well, if you're fair on the research, for sure, you have to do that. I think what we find online is this, again, dump trucks. I watched, there's 2 channels right now that are feeding Facebook with video after video of videos I just posted as being fake, that Nikki, you've talked about as being fake, as if they're still real. And there's a mistranslation in regards to 10 years of YouTube stuff that's still circulating online that you talk about, and I tried to show in that last the videos of stuff we thought was Sasquatch, and those looked really, really good. To start, the reason why I did truth versus truth is you can't keep the madness going. I deal with madness as a professional. I can't pretend madness is sanity, because it's not sanity, and it's certainly not truth. And you can't blame the viewers, because it's not that people aren't intelligent. It's just that whatever data they're getting by being primed, by coming online because they have trusting regulators, you're going to get hook, line, and sinker in any topic that's online right now. And you're going to start moving to one finger research, which you don't have to do one finger research now, because the algorithm is going to start popping videos that you just watched that happen to be conspiracy oriented thinking, the way you're bent in your thinking, if you bought what the video channel narration is. So
yeah, it's about filters. You're right, Leon. It's not intelligent. Intelligent people can have horrible filters in their brains.
Intelligent people can be duped much easier than stupid people. If you look at the research that was done with scientists,
if they're critical thinkers, they have a good filter by nature.
Well, again,
that's what it's about.
Not really.
People are watching us right now.
Because I know some super smart people with a lot of education, but they have zero common sense, and that has something to play in it.
Okay, that's
zero.
That's a little different. I'm talking about being a critical thinker. That's not smart or average intelligence or what have you. It's a way of thinking. It's a filter you develop in your brain. It's not about IQ necessarily.
It's about perception of how you perceive truth.
Yeah, and how that was developed. How it developed in your brain as your worldview. So conspiracy oriented thinking, you guys heard me say this quite a few times. Conspiracy oriented thinking, I'm dealing with a client right now who's he's 68 years old, but he's totally into conspiracy oriented thinking. Well, that's because, and that happens between it happens usually before 5, but you could say during the magical stage of development in the psyche. You come from a family system where it's not consistent, not predictable, not safe, not secure. You can't come to a relaxed state, which puts you on all the time. So you're on all the time. If you're on all the time, that is in your body as anxiety. So when you hear things that are anxious to you, it feeds the anxiety monster you have inside yourself. And if you're in anxiety enough, you start looking for that particular, if I may say, nipple to feed off of. And it's not a healthy position for a society. It's one of the reasons why we've moved to, especially in Western culture, to low resolutional thinking. We've stopped the capacity to factually analyze things. We go with what we feel. Feels to be true, therefore it's real.
Agreed. But now I don't want to get into world politics.
Well, I'm not getting into world politics. What I'm talking about is, and so you have 2 skeptics here, academically clinical or not clinical thinking, but academically styled and trained thinking processing with these 2 guys. And these are the guys you should always have on your team, because you need to be fair to yourself. And if you buy I think someone's trying to say something. I'm gonna get back to there.
It's feedback.
So if you brought these 2 guys into the woods, into an active area, that's what needs to happen, really, right?
Well, it's like when I went and did here you've got Matthew Johnson, president of Bigfoot BFRO. We all use them as resources.
No, Matthew Moneymaker.
Matthew
There's so many names that are kind of
Squatch in USA.
I appreciate that. And then it comes up with that
Matt
claim.
Johnson's the Xano guy, isn't it?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
the,
Yes.
that's him.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
Their
He's
favorite
the
portal
boy.
guy.
Yeah,
the
we know
Hulk
through
guy.
him that Bigfoot's a terrible prophet because the Xanu Bigfoot was campaigning for Donald Trump, I think.
That's right.
Oh,
So
yeah,
That's a real thing that
totally,
happens.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they told him. They told Matthew that, oh, he's going to win. Yeah, it sounds like fundamentalist evangelicals there too. All right, we're not getting politics. We're not getting into
Yeah,
religion.
well,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
but I
great,
mean,
great.
yeah.
It's fun.
Now I totally forgot where I was going. It's okay, Dave.
Hey guys, do you all have channels that you can drop links to in the live chat? I'd like to check out some of the stuff that you all are putting out.
Mine's Bigfoot Okanagan. You can see my name there.
Yeah,
that's a YouTube on Facebook too.
Yeah, Brent.
But
Hey,
then I
yeah,
gotta
they're
type
all
it.
listed.
Like if I could copy and
It's
paste
all-
it, it's like 4 steps.
I know. Are you guys under 30?
It's like 15.
Are you guys like 35? I have to type.
yeah, that's my problem. Exactly.
You know, it's like,
You Bigfooters
I'm-
don't want to type your names in. It makes my
yeah, I
life so
know.
miserable.
No, we have to type. We actually use crayons.
I can't.
A good geologist always has colored pencils, so that's how I know I'm better than you because I have colored pencils and you have crayons.
Cashew
And
was
you're
on it.
And you're a geologist, and I'm not, so you're probably way better than me.
Check the chat. They're going to be linked in the chat. Cashew is Curious Cryptid is going to link all of the channels in the chat.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Oh, what a
Yeah,
nice
Steve.
fella.
Yeah, Steve is definitely. Yeah. Okay, he's
Oh,
on
yeah.
top of it. Cool.
So I can stop doing it now.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think Steve's gonna take care of that.
thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Just because I know actually learned about Pat's channel from watching him on Modern Day Debate with my friend
Hey.
Erica, and so
Oh, yeah,
now I'm
Erica,
here,
yeah.
and there's a whole community of you guys, and I find you people fascinating. No, and I mean that in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, you
I
people.
No,
No,
please,
I-
you
you
apologize for being such a
Yeah,
dick.
you people. Yeah,
What do you
totally.
mean, you people?
Oh, cat
No.
into the bag on that one. You people,
No.
we're all the
It's-
same, but we're different. It's like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
each
dig
of y'all
a
have
little,
your own
little
angle.
deeper, man. We are the we're the outskirts of the
Yeah.
what would
Yeah,
be
you,
the
you seem more skeptical to me. You seem
Yes.
more.
I
honestly,
prefer,
seem like
I
you'd be.
prefer the outskirts.
yeah, totally,
It's-
Dave.
the deeper you go, the deeper you go into the waters, the crazier it gets, but also the sort of like it becomes all about entertainment. There's an entertainment aspect to spooky stories, right? I mean, there always has been throughout human history. Spooky stories sell, and so there's a lot of that. There's a lot. So because there's a lot of that, there's a lot of hoaxing. There's a lot of false narrative put over inconclusive. Like, yeah, man. I mean, we try and be on it in our own sort of pursuit of the actual phenomena, which does exist, by the way. And I think everyone above you guys here on the panel will stand by that. There's a real phenomena known as Bigfoot, colloquially, if you'll say. There's something going on. It's worth
Yes.
looking into, and that's why we're here. And there's all this bullshit with the entertainment side of the spooky stories and false narratives. And so we're having to like juggle 5 different fucking balls at once, man, just to try and get some
I
kind
would
of
agree. There's
answer.
definitely an archetype here. There's definitely a cultural archetype that seems to extend far back into. I mean, because you see it in cultures so far removed as the outback Australia and ancient Europe and is all both North and South America, pretty much everywhere, all the major continents. There's this archetype of the wild man of the woods that transcends cultures. And when we describe it to when we describe it to each other, we can make correlations with that. The question is how much of that has been the original stories of these removed people have been tarnished by kind of interweaving them with the stories of neighboring cultures, but there's definitely something there. There's definitely some kind of origins to that archetype.
But it's just a story. That's what's there. A
But
story.
when it gets physical, that's when
That's
questions.
Right.
That's right.
And the
And that's the
physical has never
problem.
been proven. That's the problem.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, for sure. And I mean, honestly, look at the skill capacity of the citizen researchers. You guys know this. You're skeptics, man.
Yeah.
You do the scientific method. You're academically trained, so your brain's wired, your neural pathways wired differently than theirs are. So if you were teaching people, you have to assist that neural net pathway to restructure a certain way, so they have even the capacity to interpret the correct way what you're actually trying to dispense to them as education. So I don't blame its people, because I think we're as stupid as their surroundings are, and we're very influenced by our surroundings. Plus, we're not really in control of our lives as much as we think we are.
I
And
don't-
it's a nice idea,
don't-
but
Mm-mm.
we're too vulnerable.
I don't forgive gullibility, because gullibility can be taken out of people.
do
you
you
know?
forgive it with
Yeah,
yourself?
that's the point of evidence, is it negates gullibility.
Yeah.
I mean, physical evidence doesn't require some sort of threshold of understanding.
That's right.
If I show you a blue tulip, therefore tulips can be blue. You know? I mean, that's
yeah.
Well, there is a standard for wildlife surveys. There's a standard practice that I
Yes.
don't understand why we don't see more of those methods that are tried and true that we use to track animals that are as rare in an environment as like a mountain lion. We can still
I can
survey
tell you,
that.
I can answer that question honestly as a skeptic. It's because you're not dealing with a dumb animal that could easily be put in a zoo. That much we know.
humans are put in zoos.
Huh?
Humans were put in zoos. It's true. I'm not
Usually
lying,
dumb
am I?
people.
Not saying I'm not laughing because you're lying. I'm just laughing at the brilliance you would
True.
pull that one out as a card.
Yeah,
I mean,
so many of
That's
us.
what I was laughing.
Yeah, yes, you're right. I mean, humans can be put in zoos, but you know, like I get the joke, but my point is that you're not dealing with a deer, you're not dealing with a bear. You're dealing what we think we're dealing with is a upright walking hominid that is not yet discovered,
But what
scientifically.
But what BrainBug's suggesting is there's a standard one would follow even for that. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, as far as
Right.
keeping track of tracking a species by environmental markers, specifically, like
And part of the reason too that it doesn't happen is, again, we're not talking people who are academically trained to research things, and that's not a personal attack if anyone's taking it that way as I say it. It's the same reason why do we use Merton's norms? Do we use the baloney detection kit? No, we don't. We always say we use the scientific. Oh, I'll change that. Channels, you hear them say that they use the scientific method. But if you ask them the next obvious question, which one, then they flounder. So it's not that it's kind of like we've had a child 50 years ago, but the child's still stunted and doesn't know what's stunted because it's been around for so long. It really buys what it actually believes. And so how would you assist a child that's now 50 years old that buys what it wants to believe? And there's been no guardrails or no mirroring rails they can reflect on, because their perception that the academics are against them. And
That sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
well,
Well,
it would be if you're not bent for education, and in some cases it will be 100%, like some of the comments I got on that new video I just posted. It's really a you problem. There's only so much I can do, and you're not the target audience I'd be looking for, so I'm sorry about that. I wish you had better capacity, but at this time it seems that you don't. So that's any area of education. And so I think, again, you guys are from the outside looking in, whereas some of the people that are here are also involved and invested with being in a community that we see potential for. And if we're going to find this thing, we need the right people. And this is a pool we could maybe perhaps draw from for citizen researchers if
Yeah.
they'd be open to be educated a different way to provide what you guys would be needing. So when we had something, it's not dump trucks of garbage coming to you, either one of you two or any other, especially poor geneticists. You know, here, I got
Agreed.
some more poop for you. Great. Yeah,
Agreed.
great.
100%.
So-
That's a great way of saying it, Liam.
And it's not,
Yeah.
you know, it's, I think the first time that I witnessed you on here, I bent my knee almost immediately to you because I thought this guy's walked into a place that he's probably 100% right in everything he's saying, but he's talking to a segment of society that can't hear what he's actually talking about and will view him as a threat that he's attacking them. But what you're trying to do is get them to think differently.
Yeah.
Plus, you're getting some entertainment because you come on last time I saw you. I think you were drinking that night.
I'm drinking tonight too.
He's
Well, I
drinking
figured you
tonight,
would.
too,
but
Leon.
I figured you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
can't handle reality. Fine. That's what you got to do is mood alter, whatever.
Exactly.
So, anyways, I have to go to the little boy's room as well. So I'm going to turn off my camera. I don't know why I'm announcing that. Must be embarrassed or something.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Yeah, no, we could use a geologist. I'm not sure what Brian does, but he's pretty intelligent and
No,
seems
he's top of the leagues, no question.
yeah, he's intelligent and he's open-minded. I get that.
What I do is boring pharmaceutical stuff, but I have a passion for ecology. So
okay, fair enough.
And he's a rad dude too. He's pretty rad.
That's cool. Yeah, we can all go camping one night, maybe somewhere.
I think that's a long drive for me, just to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
you're in Georgia, right?
Yeah, North Georgia. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a long ass drive for me, dude. You got to have some excellent marshmallows and stuff for that camping.
Well, where's the hot spot right now? Isn't it like in the last couple of years been East Texas?
That's always been East Texas and that southeastern part of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there last March. It was pretty active.
The Falk monster was in that region. I remember that. Legend of Boggy Creek. That was one of the things that got me into.
Yeah, Legend Boggy Creek.
Yeah.
I mean, there's again, I don't know how to describe it, guys, other than it is a real phenomena. For some reason, people are seeing, and so it's not just one anecdote. I'm talking about the body of it. And as a skeptic, this is why I'm interested in it, because I realize it for what it is. For some reason, there's a large body of people seeing 8 foot tall, hairy, monkey man looking freaking things out in the woods. I mean, that is happening. There's no doubt that is actually happening, or they're all liars, which in itself would be a weird phenomenon.
So, Pat, would you say that to me, there's a difference between you saying they're seeing it and you saying they think they see it? To me, those are two different sentences.
Okay, but
because if you see it, then it's true. To me, it's not true. So you thought you saw it.
Sure, but we're talking about the kind of encounters where, I mean, I would say to you, do you think you see your car in your driveway where you left it parked? Do you think you see that? Or
Yeah,
do
but
you
I have
actually
different levels
see
of
it?
evidence to confirm my thinking I saw it.
Yeah,
right?
I know. So we circle back around to the evidence, where is what I'm saying is these encounters are so clear and so in your face, so real that it's just as real as seeing an actual bear, or seeing a cardinal in a tree, or seeing a snake on the ground. There it is. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not hallucinating, right? I'm not making it up. It's not folklore coming back into my brain.
So Pat, what is wrong with me saying that I believe you saw a snake in a place where I know snake, though that breed of snake exists, versus me saying that I didn't see you see Bigfoot.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that we're talking about something that's not known. Snakes are known, you know.
Well, so yeah, that gets to the crux of as he left now, but Leon, as Leon was saying, like my disagreement with your thought process, your belief.
I have no belief. Whoa, let's be clear.
What is the phrase you like again? Phenomena?
It's a phenomenon. Yeah.
Yes. So your acceptance of the phenomenon, would that be okay?
Yeah, it is. Well, when tens of thousands of people report the same thing, that's a phenomenon.
I'll use your lexicon for this. Okay. So your acceptance of the phenomenon. I don't accept the same phenomenon, and I worry that our disagreement is very basic, and that like your definition of evidence and my definition of evidence are different enough that we are running into this disagreement.
Okay. I never said that the anecdotal body is evidence. So is scientific evidence? It is not.
The anecdotal body is evidence, though. Even the worst anecdotal evidence is still evidence. I mean,
it can be, but it's not. It's not readily accepted.
It's a different style of evidence.
Yeah. So I just default to anecdote is not evidence. That's my default. What I'm saying is a phenomena, and it's phenomena is not. Yeah. So for something to be a phenomena, the evidence bar is way lower. So when again tens of thousands of people are seeing the same exact thing in random different locations, similar types of places around the country, that means the phenomena is real, or all those people are lying.
Yes,
that's a binary thing.
Are mistaken.
My response to that argument is the reason that doesn't work for me is I'm also an atheist, and there are billions of people that believe in God, and that still doesn't convince me one iota.
But they haven't seen God.
Those billions
of
hundreds
of millions that believe in a specific God.
There were hundreds.
That's a bad analogy.
Mary, though, and
that's a bad analogy.
Well, you seem to make you're making the argument that Bigfoot is popular, therefore that means something.
Nope. Billions of people did.
I've also drank a lot of beer.
Billions? No. Dude, work with me here.
I'm trying my best, I promise.
Billions of people did not see God standing in front of them. That's not way. So that you're going back to the faith thing, and that's not where I'm at. I understand that actual people are actually seeing them in real time, in real hardcore, in your face, right there in front of you, fucking encounters. That's not faith. That's all those stories add up. They're to the same consistent sort of thing they're seeing out there. Why are they seeing it? That's all I'm saying. Why are these people seeing that?
But it's still subjective. So when I look at it, the problem I have is running across people who've claimed to had an encounter with a Sasquatch, and they seem to have a post-traumatic stress disorder due to the event. Those are very rare, but those are the ones that pique my curiosity. Others will come across as being truthful in what they're saying, but there's no way anything they're saying I could prove it to be true. But when I'm looking at people who are not sleeping for sometimes years on medication, you could jump to the they're gooning already and stuff like that. But this is kind of what I deal with is PTSD people, including my own personal life. So I have quite a bit of practicum experience in it, you could say. And so that's what makes me kind of curious. It's a little more tangible, and I think that our healthy skeptics here are correct. It's a little more tangible to make me aware that there may be more evidence here than that is available. So even if I went to an encounter, especially the hunters I've come across that have reached out to me where they just still can't sleep. They're terrified to go into the woods again. And they've been in the same area for 15 to 20 years, some of these guys, and they're trained hunters, like professionally. So there's something there. Do I say it's a Sasquatch? No, all I can say is from what I'm experiencing them share their story is they encountered something enough that it imprinted itself on their nervous system as they were in fight, flight, freeze, or faint or friendships.
On Leon's point and referencing back to Pat's, in your opinion, am I being in some way not fair by not accepting that as credible evidence?
No, I think you don't realize that we think a lot like you, and Pat just maybe didn't articulate that correctly, where you're still carrying a bit of a cognitive bias about that the group in front of you is not actually where you guys would like us to be. We're actually there. Steve showed up from Spears Cryptid.
So
he
Pat,
would be a very interesting person.
Am I to understand that you aren't making a statement about a physical phenomenon, just a psychological phenomenon, that people are reporting this more so than this is actually happening?
No,
that's part of my problem.
I can't say it's psychological or physical. It's an experience that happened to a large number of people. It's very consistent. Nobody ever sees them in downtown Chicago.
So, Pat, the consistency of the amount of people lends credence to the reality of what they saw.
All I said is an actual phenomena. That doesn't define what it is.
No, not what it is, but if it actually existed.
No, but you're going back to the argument that hearing something over and over and over again makes it to be true, which is a fallacy style of thinking process.
Yes.
Right? That's what you're suggesting. And that's not well, I can't speak for Pat. Again, I come from a different angle than other people do, and I don't see it that way. What I don't understand is seeing somebody who has a traumatic imprint in them when I meet them that I could understand if they were in violence, car accident, a murder scene, that imprint. But instead of saying it was a terrible car accident, somebody came and killed my daughter, I saw something terrible that happened to me, but they use the word Sasquatch. I don't know what to do with that data. So that's all I'm saying. It makes me curious to figure out what's going on.
Can you have that level of imprint without it being an actual event?
100%.
Like
1 out of 8 people who have
things like that.
1 out of 8 people who have lost a loved one will believe they actually got visited by that loved one, and you can't argue it. And you couldn't argue that against
the idea that didn't happen.
That's right.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So
the key part is what is happening in the brain to make that happen to such a level that they would truly believe it to be a factual event. Is that possible in the bush? Is that possible with Sasquatch? Is that possible with UFOs? Dogman, Mothman, all these other things?
So, for sake of conversation, it is possible that every person that saw Bigfoot might have had this, what you just said, fake thing, and they brain perceived it as real. Does that mean that we shouldn't trust them anymore? Like,
what do you mean by
if
trust?
It's possible that every single one of them was...
Well,
I want to know what that is.
Well, the thing, too, is it's not the topic. Every single one of us, including you guys, are receptive to this. That's the point. And if you're not aware of that, how would one vet the information to prove it was for yourself? Just say.
So then you need the third-party evidence in order to verify what your brain has remembered.
Well, you need facts, and facts.
Yeah.
Are
So
tangible, right?
if the Vietnam vet actually legitimately ran into these issues, he has a reason to be traumatized by it.
Yeah, right? And you can get traumatized also, unfortunately, by things that you perceive to be true as a reality, but actually didn't happen.
Yes.
So how would you help a person negotiate that? So if you're looking at evidence, it's the same kind of process you would go through to validate whether or not you're seeing it. So you have the people who are more readily, and Nikki's mentioned this quite a few times, and Cornell's probably experienced this on his show, is where people are just readily available to tell you their story. And then you have the ones that you listen to because you listen to stories. They go into categories. What types of stories are they? What are the experiences? And you break it down. You keep breaking it down and keep breaking it down. So then you have other people who come on and they are trying to, and as you're talking to them in an interview, not live, not in front of anybody, but you're talking in an interview, they're trying to convince themselves what they saw didn't happen. So why does the brain do that? That's an interesting question for me. Not saying that it doesn't happen. I like how the brain is so bizarrely wired that there's a lot of stuff. You got a pharmaceutical corporation in your head. It can induce a lot of delusional style thinking, visuals, all sorts of stuff. So
there's also like when Dave was in the Kamichi Mountains, and now Dave was here a while ago, and he's a ex-police officer. He has a music store. He's very credible, and he was in a campsite one night in the Kamichi Mountains, and a 30-pound rock came out of the woods and hit a tree 6 feet up. And he looked at it the next day, and there was an indent in the tree, and the rock, he said, he could hardly pick it up. Now, where did that come from? And I believe Dave. So it's not just.
So I think there is an answer that doesn't involve Bigfoot.
What would it
and
be?
Since I don't have super strong evidence of Bigfoot, I don't see why I can't counter it with any other possible explanation.
Well, he wasn't. He was on a flat terrain. There was no hill right there. So
sure.
Would a person?
No, there's no people around there.
How do you know some douchebag teenager didn't just roll a rock over there because they thought it was fun?
The area you're in, when there's no douchebag teenagers.
Yeah,
well,
this is in the middle of the
and you don't really go do that in the forest either.
Yeah, you guys are saying that based on what? Like your personal opinion of how this works?
Experience in the woods.
Wait. Yeah, slow her down.
That doesn't mean an unexperienced person couldn't have done this because they're unexperienced.
Well, it could have. There is a possibility.
Well, that's exactly my point.
Wait.
You're not giving positive evidence of Bigfoot. You're giving circumstantial evidence of Bigfoot, which
correct.
Well, there's so many environmental factors to this that we need to take into consideration before jumping to any kind of conclusion.
Thank you. The funny thing is,
it's not a conclusion. It was a strange event.
Yes,
you guys have to you have to understand. It's not a conclusion. It's one of those things. It's what we call a head scratcher. Like,
I gotta go bathroom real quick. Excuse me.
That's all right.
Turn your camera off.
How the fuck did that happen?
What else could have done this? I mean, when I heard a whoop, I recorded a whoop in the middle of the Kamichi Mountains, and there was only one way into that place, and we were the only people around. It wasn't hunting season, it wasn't deer season, and we heard this whoop on my recorder, and someone said, "Oh, that just sounds like some woman," I'm like, so some woman would have had to have hiked in there up to our camp and did a Bigfoot-like whoop in the middle of the woods for what?
She was whooping in the woods.
It was like a whoop, and it was so loud it was like deafening.
Is it on your? Do you got it on your channel?
Yeah.
I subscribe to you, so
it's on my channel.
I can check it out. And
we heard tree knocks, we heard rock clacks. I'm not 100% believer in Bigfoot either. I leave room just in case there's some other phenomenon going on.
Wood knocking at night.
Yes, in the middle of that. I left my Zoom H4n Pro recorder going all night, and we heard these thumps. I mean, they were like thumps against trees. Well, they sounded like they were thumps against trees. And we heard other sorts of things, whistles and all these, but I can't really explain them. But this whoop was like someone would have had to have hiked in there by themselves in the middle of Oklahoma, in the middle of the Kamichi Mountains where people are armed. Everybody's got a gun. And just walked up to our campsite and did a whoop.
Is it public access?
Yes, it's on my channel.
The
way in.
Oh, it's public access. Yeah, but we drove on a dirt road 10 miles into this place, and we walked around and did this whole tour, and there was no one around.
I'm done peeing in case anyone wanted to know.
Yes.
So what's the landscape like there?
The landscape is probably like much like Appalachia. It's same as the Northeast here. It's like got rolling hills and stuff, and
it's a little scrubbier though, isn't it? Than what you see in Appalachia.
Yeah, it's got like a lot of ridges and like creeks
on the western
and stuff.
slopes. Okay.
There was just no one around. I don't know. I'm not saying it was Bigfoot, but I can't think of what else it was.
Do you know what kind of forest it was?
It was oh God, I'm from Ireland, so I'm not really familiar with
Okay.
all of the.
Probably.
But I was awoken
hardwood.
at 3:30 in the morning by someone walking around my tent on 2 feet, and I lay there and I heard this thing. And we had food out and stuff. We'd forgotten to put the food away, the grease tray that we cooked steak in, and we heard.
Oh, come on.
I know, it's dumb. as
Animal
hell.
killer.
Very Irish of you.
So I was woken up at 3:30 in the morning, and I could hear these footsteps outside my tent, crunch, 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 and I was terrified. And I'm like, that sounds like it's something very heavy on 2 feet. And I yelled for Dave, and he got up, and there was nothing there. We couldn't find footprints because the ground was very like compact, and it was rocks and stuff, so you wouldn't find footprints anyway. And it was leaves and shit. But and this is a place where Dave has had reports from people that didn't know anything about Bigfoot of ape-like creatures crossing the dirt road. You know, so that's why he started to go down there in the first place 20 years ago.
What
And
what
that's
other
where the rock
wildlife
thrown.
are? What other
What other-
wildlife are we looking at in that area? Is it are we talking like elk?
No, I'm not sure. I think he has bears. But
Side question: how do you tell it's 2 feet versus 4 feet?
I don't know. I grew up in the city, but I could hear from what it sounded like to me was 2 feet. It wasn't.
So it could have been 4 feet moving slowly. You probably wouldn't be able to know.
Could have been, but if it was a bear, it would have probably made a ruckus and tried to eat all of our snacks.
Again, but bears don't
Could have been,
behave
yeah.
based on how you want them to behave.
Right, exactly. Yes,
So-
you're right. You're right. But in a area that we had heard tree knocks and whoops and rock clacks, that led me to the conclusion that it could have been. I don't have any evidence, so I can't say 100%.
So would you say it's legitimate for me to argue that you shouldn't say it was 2 feet
Yes.
walking?
Yes, of
Because okay.
I would. You're totally. It's a totally valid question. Yeah, I cannot prove it. You know,
Okay,
and
so-
I'm not 100% believer in Bigfoot. I'm probably at 80%. You know, 'Cause
And this
I haven't
goes
seen one.
to why I explained to another channel why I come here, because he'll actually admit that his presupposition is faulty. And you don't get that from different sects of the YouTube. So good job, Pat. Kudos.
Yeah, I'm not. I hate all these YouTube channels, like with you know, Bigfoot sighting, and it shows this blob squatch in the woods and stuff. And I think everybody here hates all that crap. You know, we don't like that. We're trying to find the answer. You know, and we're
Well, and the good thing,
Go
Cornell,
ahead.
is which the skeptics lads here wouldn't know is you at least got this sharp that fast, like Nikki was saying, because a lot of people get online and they're in this and they've been drinking the Kool-Aid for a few years, and then there's something that just didn't add up, and then there's a bit of an agitationally, you feel like you're embarrassed a little bit because you've been duped.
right. No
And-
such thing podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the nice thing is that you and Matt are both the same as you. There was a capacity that you had that a lot of viewers unfortunately don't seem to have as they keep getting primed by the narration. They're hearing by people who are saying, this is a Sasquatch, that's a Sasquatch, and all that kind of stuff. But they always miss that middle part, which is, can you explain to us at home why it is a Sasquatch? Systematically describe how you know this tree snap is done by a Sasquatch.
Yeah,
This
I have
structure
no-
is done by a Sasquatch, right?
Yes.
I have never seen footage that I can say 100%. And I asked this on my Facebook channel. I have never seen footage of a Sasquatch that I would bet everything I had on, even Paddy. I'm still 50-50 on Paddy.
Right.
And
Well, that's
all-
what a thinker does, though, is you don't take everything hook, line, and sinker. That's what amazes me on the community is there's a segment of the community that for some reason that is not normal, and you have to just defend that position of that normal style of thinking, healthy style of thinking, that you're not gullible. You know, it's amazing to me. It's like, do you want to know what you're looking at, or don't you want to know what you're looking at? What's the big threat there? I'm going to be wrong and feel offended. Yeah, well, I've been wrong. I've been a moron. I've been an idiot. I still am living. I grew up. I learned from the experience. That's what it's supposed to be about. Not about being right. I mean, it's going to waste my time. It's going to waste our time. And I think, I mean, honestly, to have skeptics here, it's great.
It
I don't
is.
think there's.
Well, pretty
It is
great.
great. I mean, like when Brent, you did up that
I
picture
agree.
for me for what's his name, Moneymaker there, but the moose walking through the trackway, and you put that little caption, best Sasquatch tracks of 2020, and then you let me use it on that video I did about going up there and investigating. He never looked at any of that, and show people how you can actually look at covered snow tracks. And it's a moose. It's obviously a moose. To declare a president that is the best Sasquatch trackway, how can you not get absolutely fed up? It's like these two guys here would be like, this is madness. That's because it is
no
madness.
shit.
It's madness. It's like
that's
how
why
and people keep saying it over and over and showing over and over. It's like,
look, Brian and Jorge, like, you guys have no idea the level of delusional thinking we deal with. And it's because of that delusional thinking. It's a brick wall to even people like you, or like hell, we could use a geologist, or like,
well,
I'll bring you in. You know,
we're in the Eastern Front. You guys are in having skirmishes in the Western Front.
Yeah.
You know,
dude,
Like,
we are literally having to argue about a freaking porcupine in a tree recently. That
7 videos.
You have no idea the delusion factor, man. That
So I was doing research for. I told you, Pat, about it before, that I was doing a video on the Eastern black cougars that people report.
Yes, which
I saw that video.
And I just released a video about that if anybody wants to go watch it. But the number of videos that I had to filter through that were people's house cats in a field 200 yards away that were huge cougars that people were seeing. The number of videos compared to the ones they're like, that might be something. There was the disparity, I would say, maybe 1 in 20 videos that I looked at trying to find decent footage was something that was actually maybe compelling. The rest of them were house cats.
Yeah. And then times that in this scene 100 times instead of just 10.
Yeah.
You know.
Right, exactly.
It's fatiguing.
It's
fatiguing,
dude.
So that has to be wiped off the board, so it's less fatiguing for the researchers. If you want to be a viewer, come on, get entertained, that's fine. But don't make yourself pretend that what you're saying is factually accurate in regards to evidence through a narration without declaring how you know it is. And you'll never get the answer how you know it is, because it's not. Or else they would tell you. If I found evidence of a Sasquatch and how it was doing something, what do you think the first video I'm going to do is showing you? And this is how I know it. And look, there's a Sasquatch doing it. That's solid evidence. But the idea of shallow resolutional thinking is, you go too deep instead of 5 to 10 deep. And it's too fatiguing for people. Mary, thank you very much for following me for so long. I haven't had a chance to say that to her. But, I mean, it's madness. It'll drive you crazy.
It is. It's getting to be.
So do you all see consistent dimensions to the reports for these creatures?
Yes.
No, you said about 8 foot tall.
Yes.
Actually, can I answer that? Because I remember a instance on this stream where Pat, the other Pat, was talking about seeing eye color in a Sasquatch, and I believe Brent confirmed that eye color in the Squatch he had seen. So that consistency does exist.
Brent
in
didn't.
other parties. I don't know if it was Brent or not, but
red or orange.
Not me. Sorry, I've never
wasn't
seen
you.
one.
Red
It was
or orange.
It was
but
someone
no,
who was in the process of making a documentary, but didn't release the information yet.
That was
to Brian's. To Brian's point, the physicality of what people see is spot on consistent. It is it's tall, big, outside human proportion, very wide shoulders, almost no neck. So so it sits, the shoulders are clavicles are up here, and wide nose, hooded nose, wide mouth, hairy, obviously. Usually darker hair, darker to reddish dark sort of hair is typical. Although you will get the 1 or 2% that say it's lighter colored. What people describe is
uniform,
is amazingly similar from Pacific Northwest to the Southeast where I live. Remarkably similar.
So the reason I ask is because there used to, when I was a teenager and I looked into I was into the reading all the woo books about it and stuff, there was always this division between what people see in the South and the East and what people see in the Pacific Northwest of how the physicality of the creature is the smaller in the Southeast and shaggier, maybe smellier.
I think that's a narrative. I just think that's a narrative, honestly.
Well, a hominid is going to stink worse in the Southeast than it is in the Pacific Northwest anyway, right? It's balmy down there.
Depends on what time of year. I mean, it gets colder down here sometimes than it does Pacific Northwest. So.
It's also very wet up there, and it's
like
a shaggy dog.
No. It's just as wet in the Southeast, if not wetter.
Humidity anyway.
But then again, we have people like right in the chat here. I've never seen a Sasquatch, so I only speak for myself. But you've got people here like Jeff Harding, who had a face-to-face encounter with one of these things, and other people,
or Jay, or Joe.
Yeah, Jay.
I mean,
and Joe. Yeah, and
Patrick.
I believe these guys, even though I'm saying that I don't believe 100%, but that might sound like a paradox. Or whatever you call it.
You believe they had an experience? Is that what you're?
I believe what they're saying. Yeah. I believe that they saw this thing.
I would say that then you accept the proposition, right? So you accept the proposition of Sasquatch, and because I was saying you said 80% earlier, but now it sounds like.
Well, you see, that's the thing. I believe those guys, but for myself, I can't come out and say I believe 100% because I haven't seen it. I have to believe that.
I have.
There's one other piece of information too that should be mentioned here. These are a very few out of hundreds that we don't believe that we've come across.
Of
stories.
Yeah, exactly.
Of people. I mean, so when we're talking about these specifics, something about their stories. Again, when you deal with people who have experienced the Sasquatch and they seem to have PTSD from it, you can't get PTSD. You can get a form of delusional style of thinking of PTSD if you're fabricating it. But if it's showing markers of other things, of something tangibly tactile in the response of the reaction to it, then there's something that's there. Don't know what it is for 100% because we're not there with the person. So yeah, for sure. So if we had this style of ideology that you guys are witnessing tonight, how would we move over to the academics or people who are critical thinkers to extend what we're actually doing and learn what to do better? And I think that's, the academics have mostly been getting dump trucks of just ideas of fabrication with nothing solid. So, and then we show up on the platforms, or we show up on the scene, and like JC and Steve, I mean, they're academically trained. They're very systematic in their thinking. They don't buy everything hook, line, and sinker. They don't drink the Kool-Aid. They want the data. The evidence will stand on its own if it's actually factual evidence. The body that's the best evidence anyone can get for sure. That would just put the argument to shame. And then all these people, you could see them all online, rechanging and adapting and doing a course correction on their narrative of what starts coming into the news about what we actually know now about a Sasquatch, because we have a body of one.
You know, another thing is that we're all here, and although we have a baseline of similar thinking, we still do have different opinions about a lot of the stories, and either the stories or the evidence or whatever. Like, I'm going to believe in a different thing that maybe Pat does. You know, he may see something, let's just say Freeman footage. Maybe Pat doesn't believe in the Freeman footage whatsoever, and maybe I do. You know, but I still want to take that and break it down and get answers, and who's been up there and who's checked it out, and how well do we know Freeman, and who knew Freeman, and who talked to Freeman. You know, we still have that, even though we just have our differences of opinion in regards to what we believe is real and not real. And I'm kind of like on Cornell's area there, where I don't believe in a whole lot of the videos I see because I'm an evidence skeptic. That's what I am. You know, I'm not, haven't been shown anything to make me go teeter over to the other side, because I still have questions. But those questions can't even be answered by going out in the woods. You know, that's nothing that me walking the forest, other than having one jump out in front of me, would solve for me personally, not to bring to the whole community. You know, because that's not what my intentions are at all. I'm not a researcher. I don't want to be a researcher. And if I have my experience out there, then that would answer my calling to know, to be a knower. But I'm still, as of right now, you know, I have those questions about the evidence. And why is the evidence not better at this point in time after 50 years?
What's your suspicion, Nikki?
I feel very negative that we are not going to run into one of these things. I teeter on the thought that we're going to keep going in this same line over and over.
Loop.
Yeah. Because until we have the body, this is our destiny. This is where we're going to be, because nobody's footage will be good. Nobody's hair will be perfect. Nobody you can say whatever DNA you want to say. It does not matter until we have the type specimen into
good DNA,
the science.
Though. Good
DNA matters.
Would be as good as, not as good as a body, of course, but it would be an unknown primate.
That's all it's going to say. Unknown primate.
Yeah.
Well, but that means something, though.
What?
It means something in North America.
What?
Are you kidding me? Of course it means something in North America. Like, that would be huge. You know?
Well, I think he's saying...
does it mean that an ape got out of the zoo? I mean...
That's a known primate.
That's
and there
known.
are monkeys and stuff in Florida all over.
No. Those are known DNA samples. They could match that up.
Yeah, the fact that you know about it means scientists know about it.
Something out there that we don't have, you know?
But that hasn't been brought up yet. The unknown doesn't exist right now. If it does, it's like in the middle of the Amazon, where we expect not to know monkeys. Like, there's no North American unknown primate.
DNA, if we're going to, I don't want to dive down the DNA rabbit hole, man. DNA is so complicated.
It's so freaking interesting, though.
Totally. It's not complicated. It's just that we don't understand it. So if it can be put down in simpler terms, that would help people at home understand what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But it doesn't solve the problem of what it is.
Right.
Well, it just shows, first of all, it gives us the next step.
Again,
for sure.
I think it would. I think it would solve the problem.
But we don't know what that is. You
No,
know,
if you shot Bigfoot and we were able to look at his DNA, or if you got a blood splatter from Bigfoot and we were able to look at his DNA, that would solve a lot of the problems because
Yes.
that would confirm,
It would.
as Brian
would.
said, an unknown primate.
absolutely.
But
And
so
there are
DNA is
unknown
a big-
primates in
The
our
thing
DNA.
is, you have to have
Yes.
the video proof of
Yeah,
that
it would-
happening.
You don't need the video proof, you need the DNA.
No, the DNA
No,
would speak
because-
for itself. It would
Biologists
fall
don't take video of new species. They can
Because
just
it
go
will
off of.
always be
Yeah.
scrutinized as a mistake.
No.
No,
This
I
is-
disagree.
Yeah,
100%.
it will.
Yeah,
We're
no,
talking like contamination.
Yeah.
That's
you
what
just-
the unknown primates always. Sorry, Pat. Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it would not fall into just a big giant unknown primate. It properly sequenced, it would come into the hominid category. So I mean, you're dealing with, like, at that point you're dealing with a way more specific thing. It's not just unknown primate. That's a big broad term. That's not a thing, really.
And I believe it is.
No. You can narrow it down with good.
Well, you can. Yeah, you
sequencing.
can keep narrowing
You
it down.
can,
Unknown-
but how many are in that,
unknown
lineup?
hominoid,
How many
unknown
rungs of
hominid.
that ladder exist? You don't
yeah,
know.
Not that many. That's the
You
point.
don't know.
Yeah.
How do you
Yeah,
know?
you do.
You don't know.
So
Well-
you get an unknown branch.
Genetically, you should be able to bring it
Yeah,
down.
how
to
would
a
you not
You
know
should
that?
be. You just said you
genus,
should. be.
genus level? Yeah. If you have DNA, you should be able to bring it down to at least the genus.
Yeah.
So we would be able to bring it down. To Homo, I guess. Australopithecine. I'm not sure where it would. The descriptions. If it's if we're going off of like a homologies of physical, because we have no genetic evidence, so we're gonna have to go off of physiological homologies of sightings, and I'm gonna say it's in Homo. I'm gonna say it would be in the same genus as us. What the implications are of that, you could extrapolate from there, but based on the eyewitness accounts, that's where I would place it. So I think that what we would be looking for would be an unknown Homo. Yeah, an unknown
Right,
hominid.
but we've got what? Homo erectus, Homo floresiensis, Homo have something, Homo this.
Habilis.
That could go on and on. For all I know, there could be jawbones stuck in a cave
Well,
somewhere for 10
and
or
we're still
20
finding
things.
there's in our
Because
own
we've
DNA
only
and
found that much of the fossil record.
in
you
human
know?
DNA there's traces of unknown human
Exactly.
species.
Exactly.
5.
In addition to like Neanderthal and Denisovian.
Mhm.
So yeah, there's plenty of species of Homo out there, but none of them seem to fit the physiological descriptions that we see in these sightings.
Exactly.
Are you guys
I mean-
familiar with Erica? Do you know Erica? She has the Library of
Gutsy
Errors
Gibbon?
channel.
Gutsy Gibbon? Yeah,
Yeah, you guys know her?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
She has just a brilliant video that she put out. It was a couple of months ago, and it's on that. I think she was analyzing. I can't remember the name of the guy who put out a book, and it's why human evolution is false. Finale. That's the video that she has.
What,
Talking about
Eric?
Nathaniel Jensen?
Yeah, with Erica, it's a brilliant video, and what she does in that video is she goes through all the claims of this fella who's written this book about primates and that and his ideas and stuff, and she systematically goes. There's one section in the video, it's about an hour and a half long, but there's one section that's probably about 20 minutes or 30 minutes where she goes through all of the points the guy is making, and she is lightning fast by going online, showing the data as she's articulating the education to us. But the extra data that's in that, if you're into Bigfoot, watch that video, because it's going to give you a lot of information about primates, monkeys, the differences, how they think, the categorization of them, the insights about them, what they can do, what they can't do, why one can, why one can't. Human beings are the only ones who have a chin. Why is that? They have jaws, but they don't have this part that pokes out a bit. Only the human condition has that. So, there's lots of interesting data, and the way she thinks and dissects, it's a good reference point for people's thinking process to learn how to think and dissect things that way, because that gets you into or high resolutional capacity of thinking. And that's a lot of this idea about, I could talk about DNA and stuff like that, but I'm a moron when it comes to DNA. Steve can talk about DNA. He's the one who notified me. Yeah, we have 5 ghost genes in our system that we don't know what the relatives are from. We haven't discovered any of their, what's the word I'm looking for? Evidence of them, whether teeth or fossils or anything, but we know they're in the gene. So
yeah, so there is I think there's 2 unknown Homo species that that are in our DNA that we just don't even have a name for, no fossil record of. We can just see them in our own genes. Right. Who was it that reminded me when you were talking about having some people on talking about DNA? Pat, who was it that you had on that was talking about the hair that fluoresces?
Doug Hychek.
Yeah, Doug Hychek. That's who that is, you guys. Yeah.
So that was I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it was. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I have to get going, you guys. I'm sorry. I gotta do the horses.
Doodles.
I gotta go too.
Hey, great talk. I look forward to Sunday night, Nikki.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look for Sunday night also, Cornell, but he's going to do the break. Good to talk to the skeptics. Yay, skeptics! Go.
We'll be on again. We'll do this again.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, do it again.
Have a nice weekend, you guys.
Yeah, you too, Leon.
Thanks.
We'll see you, bud. No, yeah, it was great having you guys on. And hey, it's open mic.
Yeah.
Right?
It was there was some good conversation tonight. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah, man. And
well, I kind of forced him into letting me on. So.
Oh well, no, you both did because I mean I was, because I had to check my email to get you guys on or whatever. Like, and so yeah.
I messaged you on Facebook too. I don't know if you got that or not, but
that I think maybe that is where, but it just lagged and
yeah.
I'm trying to run a show. Hey guys, I'm trying to run a show here. Like I have a big time. I have a big time YouTube channel show. Like
it's true, he does.
If you haven't noticed,
it's pretty awesome to come over here and hang out with you guys.
No. I mean, to be honest with you, dude, it's like more of this, having you guys on, Brian and Jorge, more of that is better to me, for me, in my world, and what I'm trying to do here, because I totally welcome the dissenting opinions, the good discourse, the challenge. It puts me on my toes, dude. It makes me have to be, on my game and defend my, not beliefs, but perceptions and of reality as I see them. So I appreciate you guys being here, and I think we should have more of this good discourse. It's what's needed in a lot of areas, but certainly here for this topic. So thanks for being here, guys.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, Nikki?
No, that was a great discussion. That was good. Look at how long we lasted. Wow, we've been on almost 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah. Dang. So everybody come on over Sunday night, 5 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time. Changing that time to 5 instead of 6, guys, so that I don't run into Squatch DTV. And come see Hairy Man Hoaxes and Hoodwinks. I've got a good lineup of stuff I'm going to talk about, including the Jacobs photo. So come one, come all for the rest
Hey
of the
Nikki,
story.
could you put your channel in the chat?
Again? Yeah.
I don't check it that often. I'm too
Oh.
busy staring at this StreamYard, URL. So
I got a show tomorrow. If anybody's interested in coming by, I do have a cryptozoology section on my show where tomorrow we've looking at some footage of a skeleton that was found in the bottom of the ocean. It's got it's kind of questionable pedigree, so we're gonna look at it and see if we can't sort
Really?
out what it is.
So that's interesting, Brian. But man, if there's a cryptid in this world, it's in the damn ocean.
Yeah.
I would say.
Right.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
There almost has to be stuff in the ocean that we don't know about. That's really maybe kind of weird, right?
Right. And there's things
You
that
know?
we see that are rare that only surface occasionally for us to view them. And some of them are bizarre looking.
Yeah.
Like have you ever seen a goblin shark?
I have
Yeah.
not, but
Yeah.
they're pretty
Big
ugly.
long thing. Ooh,
Yeah. And its mouth kind
Yeah.
of shoots out as it grabs its food.
that's nightmares.
Mhm.
so yeah, like imagine something like that washing up on shore and then like rotting, halfway rotted, right?
Yes.
It would look even scarier,
I'm glad that you brought that up because that's exactly what we're going to be looking at tomorrow. 9:30. Well, that's Central Time. What are you on Eastern Time? So
Yeah.
I don't know if most of your viewers on. So 10:30.
My guys are all over the place, so
Yeah.
just whatever time is your region, announce it. 9:30 Central.
Yep.
Okay.
It's yeah.
And your channel is
Brain Bug.
your Brain Bug. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is very lazy, and I don't post nearly as often as
Oh,
I
you
should.
post
so
awesome stuff.
I have nothing to advertise. I'm a bad YouTuber.
Your
Well-
videos are hilarious. Stop. Orge has awesome content. Go check it out.
Nah, it's crap. It's all crap.
Well, hey, you guys, Brian and Jorge, bring. I'd like to participate in some of the things you guys do.
Yeah.
And maybe not so much the theologian stuff, but I mean, if anybody, whatever, dude, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, Pat, I was talking about brain in the jaw hypothesis before I came on here, so
Yeah,
it's just whatever. Us atheists love to disagree with everyone.
I know, man. I don't like to debate religious stuff, but like, whatever, flat earthers or climate change or
Yeah, those are my boys. No, 100%, definitely.
yeah, like
I like young Earth
I love it.
creationist. I don't necessarily like debating just theology in general, but young Earth creationist, I that's my bread and butter.
yeah. All right.
Well,
Well-
take care, Pat. I'll head out. I'll start the Exodus. Round two.
All right, man. I'm gonna wrap it up.
The mass
Peace out.
exodus. Night, everybody.
Night, Orge.
Thanks, guys.
Night.
Good discourse, man. Good discourse. We need more of that. That's I mean, really, I'm the odd man out. I bring in the skeptics. Jorge comes in, he makes some good points. He tries, he tries to defend sort of his where he's at. And that's fine. Again, let's hash it out. We could do that, and we did do that reasonably. Even if I got a little emphatic at times, it doesn't mean I'm angry. I'm just emphasizing. That's all. So we can have that good discourse, and we should have it in the Bigfoot world. And I invite those who criticize me and us to have that discourse with us. And maybe we can, figure some stuff out there. But we'll never figure it out unless we actually talk about it. And hash those ideas out. But I don't have much faith that that will happen. We'll see. I'll reach out. But hey, yeah, chill stream. Hey, everything's chill. I got like 2 dead dogs back here. Like, see? Like, oh. I can't even find the other one. Good stuff. Chill stream. Turned out to be a great discussion. And man, you never know what you're going to get in Squatch Talk. That's what I said earlier in the comments on the group. Said you never know what you're going to get. And here we are. Sometimes I think I'm going to come on here and it might be a 45-minute show, and like that never happens. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you being here. I am going to shut it down. And thanks for watching. And we will see you next time.
Let's assume that you've got to this point in the video and you don't agree with me at all. Fine, but I guarantee that this video has been beneficial to you. It will, at the very least, have allowed you to compare your own argument to mine, thus giving you an understanding of the opposite view of the argument. And, assuming you're being honest with yourself and actually paid attention, it will have strengthened your own line of reasoning in preparation for an intellectually honest counter-argument. Therefore, even if you don't agree with me at all, this video will still have been useful to you, even if it only confirmed what you previously knew. If I get defeated here, if someone comes along with a very good counter-argument that defeats mine properly, then great, we've all learned. And if I'm right, great, we've all learned again. But if we don't have the debate because it's artificially shut down, or people complain so much that it persuades people not to take me seriously, we can't learn. We can't find the truth. So we will live in ignorance of the truth. It is therefore in all our best interests to have a debate about this subject. But if the academics or corporations like YouTube or the Central State are not allowing the debate, or somehow find a way to call this offensive and take it down, then we won't learn and we will have a valueless interpretation of